Anyway, no, I'm not picking on your keyboard, man. I was just actually typing on my little tiny one at work all day. So, anyway, I'm Pat.
Hey, Patrick, I'm Jeffrey. No, I get it, and in some ways, it's sort of it works. But I mean, I will say that for the time that I spent typing extensively, and I'm talking about hours a day for
Did you have those
years.
separated keyboards?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
The problem I have with those right now is they're just too they're too up. I kind of like it flat.
Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, the other thing is that the keys are too squishy. I have
On
come
those?
to, yeah,
Yeah.
I have come to, if there were thinner keys than that, I'd have that.
Oh, than this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I've had a keyboard like that.
I haven't seen one where they're actually thinner.
You know what? My wife had one that was part of her laptop when she had a docking station. It was,
Mm,
but it was tiny. It was really small. It was not comfortable to type on. But it
right.
did have really thin. See, like my keyboard, I got the Kachunka, the mechanical ones. So, but I don't type on my own computer that much.
There you go.
I mean, when I do, it's like it sounds like a fucking typewriter. So, but then, yeah, I don't sit and just like type for hours like you do. So,
I used to.
yeah,
I
you
don't
don't
have to do
really
it as
do that
much now.
anymore. Yeah.
I mean, I do it a little bit, but I mean, it's more. I have to move the mouse more than anything else, and
Mm.
what a what a calorie burner that is.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I've grown more sedentary lately with my stupid online only schedule. Yeah.
You don't seem to mind it.
Yeah, I don't like it though, man. So I literally don't get out of the house for like a couple day stretches now. So
I've been there for a long time. I mean, I
I know,
guess.
yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not used to it. So
Well, the problem isn't that you're not used to it. Is the problem is that you're going to get used to it, and once you get to it, you're used to it. It's the other thing that's going to feel weird.
what, going to the office?
Correct.
Dude, I've gone there voluntarily twice this week. So just to get shit done. Yeah. Well, one of them wasn't voluntary, but today was voluntary. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in. So
Right.
yeah.
But no, that is the danger. Is um, once you get to the point. Well, so there are things that give you a false sense of socialization that can make you think that you're like, oh no, I'm still normal. I'm still normal. And those are like, say, for example, like for a long time when I was uh, tutoring, right? You see other people, you
Oh
talk to
yeah, yeah,
them,
yeah.
right? It feels like you're conversing with other people. It's like, okay. And then, I still, talk to some of the other folks, Marina and stuff like that. Time to
Yeah.
time, it feels like it goes outside. Um, the problem here is when you find yourself like, oh my God, I'm talking to Grok.
I can't, yeah. I spent a good chunk of today having ChatGPT generate test banks for me.
Uh huh.
So, which is deliciously fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was actually asking it to get meaner.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
like
was
that.
like, yeah, this is too easy. Make it harder. It's like, okay. It's like, wow, this is way harder. That's great. They're gonna love this one.
That's a subjective call too. Is to say how much more difficult would you want to make
I
it?
gave it well, I started by saying like, hey, make this commensurate with like this grade level.
Okay.
And then I was like, all
Yeah.
right, let's make it junior level of college. And I was like, all right, now let's make it graduate school.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was like, brr, and I was like, oh, this is way better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great because like instantaneously, I already know that that test bank doesn't exist out there in the wild.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
tailored it to what I wanted it to do, and it was almost like, oh, this is too easy now.
Well, you
That's asking good fucking questions too, man. I was like, this is great stuff, man. I mean, I know there's a whole bunch of curriculum out there already on the internet, and so it's just like doom scraping that stuff.
well, this is. I mean, you're talking about the beauty of it is you used to have one of two choices: either write it yourself or you have to pick from the bank.
Well, and the bank is always on the internet
Yeah,
5 seconds after it comes
yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And so you have this thing where you can actually get both at the same time, and it's not
yep.
like I want you to think about what stuff like this used to be. It's like, hey, no problem, go ahead and say what you want. Mail it to us, and we'll go ahead and get it back to you within 2 weeks.
Oh,
Right?
right. Yeah.
You know, and of course, they're just we're
It
going to
never
charge
worked
you,
that way. Yeah.
$150, whatever it is it's going to be. But the fact that it's not going to sit there and say like, it's not like defragging your computer. It's not
Nope.
like, hey, come back in an hour.
Nope. Mm-mm.
No, it's just like, all right, so I can't tell you this,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to have to burn like 40 rocks of coal to get you this answer,
Yep.
but that's not your problem.
Yep. Yep. No. No, it was pretty cool, man. I mean, I don't do that much testing, but when I do, I try and make it so that it's like not worth going to look it up.
Right,
It was like just try it. And if you get it wrong, try it again. Very
right.
Duolingo-ish, which oh my God, I think I lost my streak. So oh man, it's gonna make me do push-ups tomorrow, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, it is to get it back. Or it's gonna charge me all my diamonds. I
Yeah,
went 2 days
yeah.
without fucking doing it. I know it's mad at me. I turned off the notifications too. That motherfucker was up my ass every day, man. So I come around 9 o'clock. I'm like, fuck off.
I like your approach. Let's go around back where they can't see them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So this is where we smoke the cigarettes back here. Yeah. I just thought of that. So oh well, it's okay.
Well, it's amazing that for all the hemming and hawing it does, and the guilting and the melting the face and all that other shit, um, I will say that it doesn't quite hit you like a gotcha game. It doesn't
Mm-mm.
fleece you and say like, look, you used two freezes, you're out of diamonds, right? How much you got on you?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's not. I mean, it's
It's like we'll take your credit card.
yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is, it's very so like mom and dad, it counts to two pretty fast. But at two, it's kind of like two and a half, two and three quarters,
Yeah.
two and 7/16.
Yeah. And then it says here, just answer these two little questions. Yeah. Keep your streak going.
It does. It'll give you a lot of ways to count to three.
Well, and I know why that is, man. I mean, I know enough about instructional
Game theory and
technology,
uh,
and well, I mean, game theory a little bit. That's kind of gone out of fashion a little bit, man.
a little bit
So
because it's that thing about once you become aware of it, once the subjects become aware of it, it loses its impact.
exactly,
Right?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, and I mean, in education, lit in particular,
Yeah.
it's everywhere still.
Yeah.
I still hear people talk about gamification. I'm like, bro, you are 15 years behind the curve, man.
That's correct.
So yeah,
Yep.
so
And I can tell you the studies you're going to cite too. I've read them.
yeah, it's been a little while since I dove into Marzano and stuff like that too, but it's all out there. So I've got a couple books on game theory and education that I read. So back in the day, I bet you they're still relevant. Shit hasn't really changed that much. They just probably found new words for it. Just like sell different books.
I'm sure you're right. I mean, the thing is, the shit I had to write about this. This is actually the same. That particular principle ties into a lot of um, psychological stuff that goes into the workplace.
It does.
So I
I've
mean,
seen it.
it all deals with the same parts of the brain. It's just how
Yep.
you apply it. Yeah, because that was a lot of how to combat
Turnover.
burnout and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I guarantee you I can probably rip off about 10 things.
I guarantee you can.
Yeah,
This is
you
this
talk
is
about consistent, regular, and relevant feedback.
you
So
say that, and you know what? That's the thing. A smart plan is going to be part of that.
I hate smart plans with a passion. So I have to teach them all the time, man. And it's just like I mean, can't we find something less gay to call it? I mean,
Look, all right. Here's the problem: is I think parts of it are dead on. Where it's like, yes, is this something that can be done? I agree. I completely
Well, they've
agree.
taken that part out of it too, man. I mean, you're talking about some of that stuff. Now they talk about it's not even attainable anymore.
Well, it was redundant too. Attainable, realistic, and
Well,
timely.
no, those weren't redundant because the way that I actually always put it was I was like, all right, so attainable is like you can walk to school, right? Can you walk to Denver? Yeah. Is that realistic? No.
Oh,
So there was a slight difference between the two.
okay.
And the
I see what you're
difference of
saying.
that is can you walk to Hawaii? No. So that's not attainable. So there's differences there. But the realistic piece came in there. They've changed that though in the last couple of years to something else that's just dumb. I can't remember what it is. So because every time I come to that part in whatever book I'm teaching out, I'm like, all right, this is what I really want you to think about when it comes to this stuff. You know,
What's
uh,
that?
I can't remember what the change is. It's too attainable, or it might be too real. It's to one or the other.
Well,
So
it's still specific, I presume.
yeah, it's still
Measurable.
specific, measurable, and then timely at the end. Um, because you have to have a timestamp on something, otherwise it's not really a plan.
Well,
It's a theory.
now you see. Now you see here, Patrick. That's when I learned that Black Lives Matter was a scam because
Right.
there was no
There was
timely,
no
there
time
was no
limit. Yeah,
measurable.
there was no measurable.
Specific, like, how will you know when they matter? That was not part of it.
Well, that wasn't the point. I don't think they were actually building a plan. So
No, well, actually, I know what the plan
it was
was.
money grab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
was
grab money. Yeah,
like I want a bigger house with white people around me,
I want three of those.
and she got it.
Yeah, she got
Yeah,
it.
she did.
But dude, I mean, if you ever saw the list of the organizations that they actually donated to, it's basically just everybody got their hand in the money pot,
Yes.
so that possibly could, and
Uh huh.
so it's just like one of those things. Oh well, that one's cooked. So.
Well, I mean, look, it's not as so. What they did brilliantly was they took they sort of understood what their place in the market could be. They're like, all right, so people that want to say that they're on this side, they used to donate to one of two places, the ACLU or the Southern Poverty Law Center,
Oh
right?
my god, they need to burn that thing down.
You don't do that. That
I
was,
know exactly who you got
it's like, how can you prove that you're a liberal and you're an ally to
You
minorities?
donate
Like,
to those two things,
correct. And so they said, you know
or
what?
the ADL. They used to do
Okay,
that
so the
one's changed a
ADL,
little bit
the problem
lately.
there is it's right now,
It's not so popular. Yeah.
it's like defamation of who?
Ooh, yeah.
Right,
I've
right.
kind of changed like the focus.
I get where it's like, God, I wish we could actually separate the fucking Jewish shit from like, it's
It's
like,
the Jews. Oh my god, dude! I've seen so much of that stuff this week. It's so funny.
from
So
who? What?
everywhere, man. Oh my god! He's like watch the Charlie Kirk funeral and watch Tucker Carlson basically say, you got sold for 30 pieces of silver, man. And some guys eating hummus. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why are you saying
I don't know why I was saying that. Well, I do. I finally got Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens figured out. I think I had Candace Owens figured out before. But Tucker Carlson is 100% mercenary. He is
that?
he is absolutely 100% mercenary. So ever since he got booted out of Fox News, he doesn't occupy that normie conservative lane. And so
Mm.
he was like, "Well, where's my bread get buttered?" He's like, "Well, there's a lot of butter over there." If I start blaming the Jews for everything.
That's Patrick. That's the one thing that's bipartisan right now.
Well, if you get far enough on the edges, yeah. So
I agree. Well,
yeah,
I mean that's the trick. Yeah, is you've got um, you have
you got to get on the crusty part of the
sides
bread. Yeah,
where it's like so you have that one group where it's like, oh well, these guys are exterminating Palestinians. So like,
mm,
okay, so you're mad at them for that? It's like, yeah. And then you say like, why are you at this meeting? It's like,
right.
well, all right. So picture this: we've got a pie. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I want you to picture that a very like 2% of people
yeah,
have eaten 50% of this pie.
right. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what would you do with these people? Would you just say like, hey, I'm sorry that bad things happened to you 75 years ago, but
Right.
hey, please continue eating half of this pie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't really get. Unless that's just where the actual Nazis have like crawled. Is that the rock that they've actually crawled under? You know, I
All right.
mean,
So
because like finding actual bona fide Nazis, I mean, that takes some skill now. So, I mean, you can find them easily on Telegram. So, but
right. Well, I mean that's the thing. So what you have to remember is very much like on Telegram. It's like Japan in the '80s, right? Where uh,
I'm curious where this is going.
well, no, okay. So this is the thing is um, if you're going to talk about like what people used to consider like Costa Nostra or the mafia back here in the day, you didn't hear about that shit, right?
Right.
It was underground. The Yakuza, on the other hand,
Oh,
right?
I got you.
They have their auditing that like you go to the Pace Plaza Center and you just go up those stairs and that's where they are.
That's where the
And
Yakuza
it just
guys are.
says Yakuza. It says it on the thing. It's illegal, right? It's illegal,
It's
but
fine.
there's a lot of things where it's like, well, how can we help you out with this?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
well, there's this thing where it's like, well, we can loan you some money and take care of
Yeah.
this. You're like, no problem. No problem, right? And they say like, well, what about this problem? It's like, well, my boss is doing this. You want me to you want to kick the shit out of him? Right? There's this thing where they're these handymen. So it's like Telegram.
I got this problem with my landlord. You know?
What kind of problem?
What kind of problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or yeah, the certain things where it's like, hey, look, we have been trying to get permits from this government office
Oh,
for
right.
a long time.
Yeah,
It's like they are not like they're stonewalling us. It's
right.
like, is there anything that you can do? It's like, yes, and it's going to cost this much,
Yep.
right? So that's the thing is that shit was advertised. It was right there on the sign.
It's
When you
Sam's
need,
Club.
it is. It's like
Sam's
it's like
Club Yakuza. I love
it's
it.
the same thing. You go next door. It's like I need somebody to work on my fence. Hey, no problem. It's like all right, but I need these kind of problems solved. Oh, we'll go see these guys.
The
Hey, you
Yakuza.
want the card?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to give you the card.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's the thing.
I get a referral. You know.
Mafia don't give you business cards. It's
Right,
not
right, right.
like
Yeah,
that,
no,
right?
no, no.
Because that lets people know where mafia is.
Right.
But that's the thing here is Telegram when it comes to
You know
that.
exactly where the Nazis are. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, you do.
Because you're not trying to hide it.
No, but like mainstream like Twitter Nazis are kind of hard to find.
Right.
You know?
And free range Nazis forget never. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Open range Nazis.
It's just not going to happen. It's
Right,
just
right,
not
right.
like you used to be able to.
You used to, back in the day, you could find like if you worked with 30 guys, you could find a guy who knew a guy.
Yes,
So that is impossible now. They are basically extinct.
that's correct.
So well, they've taken to the internet the high seas of the interwebs, you know, and have scattered to the four winds.
Or they went to jail.
Or they went to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what Nazis do, you know, eventually.
I mean, you and I have joked about it, but
Prison
okay, man,
Nazis exist.
they
Yeah,
do
they
exist, and they do get out. And I've seen more than my share of Windows tattoos.
I've
And
seen Windows tattoos. Yeah.
well, I mean, oftentimes it's kind of a diamond instead of a window because it's turned sideways.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Either you just get the blackout on it, you know. Yeah.
then it's a square.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
it's a square. Yeah.
Because you're a skier, it's like a black diamond.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's a black diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got them up here too, man.
You got that for skiing? It's like, nah,
Yeah.
killing a guy.
You're killing a guy. Yeah. You got a black diamond right on your forehead, huh?
Right.
You were really into skiing, weren't you, buddy? You know? Yeah, but I think that's where Tucker's gone. So I think he's found himself, you know. I mean, it's just like I watched a couple of things. He was actually on Greenwald for like an hour yesterday.
Was Greenwald
Oh,
challenging him on stuff?
no,
or-
fuck no. He's 100% on board with the Jews being the bad guys. So Greenwald's got off the map a little bit with that, man.
Well, to his credit, that was his day one thing. He didn't leave it like from the minute it happened.
Yeah,
He
that's
was-
true.
and I believe he's one of them,
What?
if I correct.
A Jew?
I think he's tribe.
I maybe he was born, you know.
Well,
that-
I don't think he's active. I don't think he's like. I'm not going to find him at temple on Saturday, but I think
no, yeah.
I do believe he's one of
He
them.
might have been one of them. I don't know. So he's one of them self-hating Jews. So
Well, no, I think he thinks he's awesome, but I think he
I think that's pretty clear.
right? I think he's like everything I say and do is fucking awesome. But I think,
By the
but
merit
I
of it
think,
coming from me, yeah.
but I think there's a component of him, or perhaps that group is like, I don't think this is
I
awesome.
don't think this is awesome.
Yeah,
I don't think you people are awesome. Yeah.
it's like I think you guys have moments. Well, I mean, and this is the thing is like, so where does the historical anti-Semitism stuff come in? It's like, all right, so there are there are things that are brought up. There are things that they say like, all right, look, you guys have had a hand in some really shitty things throughout history, right? There's a lot of like, and it's not as though it's isolated to this one group. They're an easy group to blame. There's a like, so when they joke about like, do you know why coins have to have ridges now? That's not a lie. This group was the ones that were shaving it. It's like I'm not going to pretend otherwise. That's
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
they weren't the only ones,
no.
but they made machines to do it.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, like, I don't know the full history of that, but I know, like, anti Semitism as we know it today is not actually that old. It only
this
goes,
version,
this
well, I
version
mean,
of it, like the Nazi version of it, only goes back like 150
oh
years.
no, it was Get Out.
So
It was
it was totally get
the
out.
thing when
Yeah.
they say like been expelled from like 109 countries. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, I
Yeah.
get it. The same thing goes where you say like, even today, so I get if you go to Australia or if you go to any part of Europe, right?
Mhm.
And you can sit there and you can start up this conversation and say like, I think it's kind of rough how some people, they're prejudiced in other groups. They'll say like, yeah, I agree, and you can go with that for a little bit, and then eventually you say like, and then there's gypsies, and then a whole bunch of people are gonna start looking at the ground and fucking whistling and shit because they're like,
Yeah.
you know, we don't say that we hate these people,
Yeah.
but we hate these people.
That's a distinctly European thing, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Same thing goes like you do that same thing in Australia, and eventually the word Aborigine will come up, right? And they'll be fucking whistling and kicking the ground and pretending not to see you, right? Because eventually what they're going to say is like, okay, so what's your problem? It's like, well, wasn't a white guy that stole my motorbike, right? And it's not to say like, yes, you can look at this and say like, all right, these groups they do have statistically higher crime rates and still do, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't. I mean, that's a weird thing where it's like, are you going to judge the group or are you going to look at the individuals inside the group?
I think you'd look at the poverty levels. I mean,
It's
that's so. I mean, and they're still banging on about this, but every way they measure any kind of like racially motivated crime, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and that's not even what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about higher instances of crime amongst groups. You're really just measuring poverty over and over and over again.
to a
So,
point.
oh, totally. If I go to like the blackest neighborhood in Jackson, Mississippi, it's going to have just as bad of a crime rate as like some shithole town in Appalachia. So different kinds of crime. So, but not necessarily different rates. So,
Those might be closer, but what I will tell you is this is the actual surprising part: is even at higher income levels, right? The instances of black crime are higher than at the commensurate wealth levels.
yeah, but I mean, but you're talking cumulative. It's different than
Well,
at that point because you're talking about smaller and smaller slices of the pie.
that is
So,
correct.
yeah.
This is again, this is the kind of thing where you look at a statistic here because, like, the big thing right now is, well, another day went by, so there's a new war on something, and now the war is on Tylenol. I don't know if you've managed to follow this,
I
but
saw that. I don't know how serious people are taking that one.
well,
So, I mean, like, so my doctor has told me for years that I should not
well,
drink.
you told me specific, yeah, for your heart and stuff, right?
No, it's my liver. So she says, "Do you drink?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Don't take Tylenol." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Has nothing to do with my heart. So, I mean, with your heart, you're supposed to take aspirin anyway, which is different. So
Aspirin
aspirin,
will fuck up your stomach eventually, though.
well, so will Tylenol.
Huh.
So just about, well, ibuprofen is the one that will really fuck up your stomach if you keep taking that. So,
That's the worst.
I that's what she told me. So, because she said, well, if you can tolerate aspirin, take aspirin. So, because it doesn't have the same things in it that both. Tylenol, which is what acetaminophen. So, and then of course ibuprofen is ibuprofen.
Which one is Advil?
Advil is ibuprofen. Yeah. So, but that's supposed to be like one of the best ones for like muscle pain in
Right,
particular. Yeah.
right.
So, but I mean, all of them have a pain-killing effect. She just told me not to take acetaminophen because it's brutal on your liver, and she says if you drink a lot of beer, then you shouldn't take this. So, and she said,
So, she, so this is kind of one of the ones that's like, all right, so let me talk to you, son. It's like, all right, so if your liver was like factory fresh,
"You'd be
right?
fine."
You just took the plastic off. I still wouldn't recommend taking Tylenol.
No, she didn't say that. So, but mine is not factory fresh.
Right.
Mine is a little
Got some
careworn.
miles.
It's got some miles.
Got character though.
It's got a few
Yeah.
dingers on it. Whatever.
This car's been around a while, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody
So,
takes damage somewhere.
I can almost filter out motor oil if it's.
Liver's awesome, man. It's hard as a rock. It's sweet.
I don't think that's normal. Yeah, but so what was going on with the aspirin or the Tylenol?
Well,
It was just about pregnant women shouldn't take it, right?
well, this is the thing is so there were I cannot there was a new study that came out and Trump was talking about this where there is a link between uh, basically like natal pregnant people taking Tylenol being linked to autism,
Yeah.
right? And so that's the thing is people are kind of like, well, this is bullshit, whatever. And what was funny was they pull up this tweet from 2017 from Tylenol that says, actually, to be specific, we do not recommend pregnant women take Tylenol.
Yeah.
And so there was this kind of like, they know. And there's a study in there where one of them, it doesn't necessarily like, they don't all say autism, but there are a bunch of them that link Tylenol usage to uh, to mental development, right?
As a baby?
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
again, this is the tricky thing here is like, I'm not an expert on this.
Nope.
And there's going to be some stuff here. So, like, stuff I went digging into statistics wise. The one that I was looking at specifically had to do with I was researching birth control, and I was looking at these contradictory studies here where one of the statistics that I saw was it was like something for like 40 to 75% showed these effects. I'm like, that's a huge fucking gap. I was like, how can you have basically this or basically twice as many of this? And that was the thing was, look, this was a big study, but it came out, it cracked out basically a low number. Then they adjusted it, and the low number got bigger. Ergo, this to this, it seems huge,
yeah.
right? And I understand it's sort of that same thing when you're talking about like crime statistics, where you're like, well, Jeffrey, there are less wealthy black people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a less measurement. So if two people do this,
it shows up.
Okay, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that's like social science is such garbage in so many respects because, I mean, now that I know what I know about statistics, it's really hard to actually tack down any kind of like, really solid statistics if you're trying to prove causality in anything. So if you're trying to say that Tylenol causes this,
right?
The only way to do that is with a gold standard, double blind, randomly opted into study. And no, they're not going to go to like 800 pregnant women and say like, all right, we want half of you to take fucking Tylenol because we want to see if your kid's going to get autism.
That's
not always
right,
going to do that,
right,
man.
right.
So, and I mean, I've seen a couple of things on this in the past where they've tried to prove like different links to autism. And the only thing that consistently shows up is like basically any kind of deprivation of oxygen, within the womb has a direct link to, autism. So it could be smoking, it could be beer, it could be any kind of aspirin, any kind of fever reliever, because that's what it does. I mean,
well, and to get back to that, that was the thing was
it
like
could be excessive exercise. I mean, there's a lot of shit.
But there's people that basically lift all through their pregnancy. They're fine.
Right. Yeah.
They
and that's what's going to happen. You can have someone who takes fucking aspirin or acetaminophen 3 times a day, and their kid comes out fine.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
no, I can't say it with 100% certainty, but I'm fairly certain that my mom smoked the whole time. And number one, I don't recall it being something that they really harped on people for back then. It may have been something
maybe
they
I don't
may
know.
have talked a little bit about. I know that there was there were some people that drank at that time,
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't really stigmatized. It
nope.
was it was. I seem to recall that being a really like mid or late '80s thing where that started coming in. They're saying like, "Hey,
Drinking and smoking.
drinking and
Yeah.
smoking while you're pregnant, probably don't do that." Right?
Well, that's how they kind of started to crack the dam,
Yeah.
on that one because that was probably the most apparent way to actually affect an infant. So, I mean, like statistics has some power. You just have to understand laws of probability, though, man. I
Right.
mean, if you don't understand the law of probability, you can read a study and, oh my God, and then realize like, okay, so a 40 to 60% spread is pretty fucking huge. Okay, you
Huge.
would not want to gamble on that, you
Huge.
know.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, like most of the things, when they find statistically significant results, they're looking at tiny marginal effects, but then they'll look at the confidence interval and they say, oh, it could be between this and this. And it's like, yeah, if you tested another million fucking people, you'd get to stack that down a little bit, but
Right.
you're getting outside of the ability to be able to do that in a replicable study. And I mean, so the problem with like medical doctors too is they have to publish too. And so they generate a lot of garbage, a lot of garbage
That they do.
you know. I mean, not as bad as sociologists, but whatever. So
I would agree. I guess I would ask you this, because you sort of bagged on
actually,
social sciences.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of them that are. I mean, so many of them are so linked to psychology, and that's kind of like the fucking volcano that keeps erupting. You know, so, so I'm not going to bag on any of them too hard because I know some people who are really good sociologists, man. They're just measured in what it is that they're actually trying to say. So,
Right.
and then you find some assholes who think they're going to change the world, and
Well, it's not just think they're going to; it's their imperative.
it's their mission,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So,
It's their first best.
and you find some doctors who do the same things, and you
Yes.
find some pharmaceutical companies that do the same things, and
Yes.
then you find everybody and their dog involved in exercise science. So to the point in time where that entire field is unnavigable.
Well, and this is one of the tough things too. Is at least I mean, so I look at a lot of things when it comes to like muscle growth and things like that.
Mm,
Where it's like, how can you adjust your workout and stuff like this? And there's some guys that I love them for this because they're like, all right, so here's what I do. I'm going to go ahead and show you the studies that say this.
mhm.
Then I'm going to tell you how they did these studies,
Yeah,
and now I'm going to show you why it's wrong. It's
yeah.
like,
See, that's good.
or they'll say like, here's where this data comes from, right?
Mhm.
This is why everybody started doing this, this, and this. But I look at the methodology of it, right? And so they had this group
From
doing it to
Japan.
so they're like, so this group they tested of 600 people.
Yeah.
They they say they had never lifted before in their life, right? And then they had this group of people that were quote unquote experts, and they did this
Mhm.
like, yeah, this wouldn't even produce the results that they're looking for. So the only thing that I saw that was truly valuable was one of the dudes out there. He's like, I did it. I bought the machine.
Yeah.
I bought the machine. It's the one where you have to put sticky things on you,
Mhm.
and it actually gauges muscle activation.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing lots and lots of stuff here under different conditions to actually show which things are getting, what kind of activation. And that's the thing is
See,
other
that's
people will
cool.
say like the difficult thing on that is that all the science is based off of those published papers,
Yeah, it
right?
is. Yeah.
So you have to take all that stuff sort of with like a grain of salt. And you're right. The other point that you were making when it comes to like all those independent groups, there is always a percentage, just like in any group, just in plumbers, in school teachers, in trans people, there is a percentage of them that are assholes.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And there is no profession or group or anything that basically precludes people from being fucking scumbags.
No, and I mean professors they fall into that too.
Yes,
Doctors definitely do. I mean,
yes, yes.
you've seen enough shady doctors in the world, Like some of them even get on TV.
They do.
In fact, they kind of self-select into that.
Agreed. Yes.
Agree.
No.
Yeah,
There's definitely a component of that. There is no version of things where the guys that were basically giving out opiates like there was no tomorrow, they knew what the problem was.
they did. Yep, they did. Yeah, I heard it on the news today. There's a new one out. It's like manufactured form of fentanyl that's, one drop of it will kill like 1 billion people again.
Oh, great.
I know. And it's like, all right, well, that the guy hanging out the homeless spawner behind Taco Bell, I bet you he could do it. you know?
I heard you probably heard this one too, where they said like one of the. It's weird that they framed it this way. They didn't say it like this, but this was basically the breakdown of it. Was they said that the homeless problem has become it's become escalated because of Narcan. Where
I've heard that.
yeah,
Yeah, where
yeah,
like, yeah.
these
So,
people used to be bumped off because of overdosing, but now they're not.
well, I mean, you only get like 4 shots of Narcan before it doesn't work on you anymore. So I mean, that's not entirely true because I mean, it just means that they're like expanding out a little bit. The homeless problem, and I haven't looked into it in a little while. I did a deep dive on this a little while ago, specifically here in this community.
Yeah,
And I mean, like most of them are low grade addicts. They're not. I mean, the guys who are heavy duty users, they don't live. They don't last. So, because they'll get involved in like one of three things. They'll OD and die. Okay, they'll get arrested. Okay, because you got to get the next fix, and eventually that means you're reaching into people's cars, and then you're breaking
yeah,
into shops at night, and then eventually you get busted, or they get fucking killed by like their
right,
cohorts.
right.
So because they get recognized as being dangerous in the community, and so they get ousted from those communities, or they get confronted, and then they wind up in a ditch, or they freeze to death somewhere. And so it's just it's not a good way to go. But almost all of that is like like the truly, and I mean we keep trying to call them homeless or unhoused or whatever it is and
It's
stuff like that,
displaced.
displaced.
Yeah,
But I mean there's a dedicated segment of people who select into that, or they'll fall into it and they get used to it, you know,
right.
kind of thing. And that was the thing that just blew my mind here is we have more shelter beds than we have homeless in the town. But you
Right.
got to give up your dog and you got to give up your little problem there. So, and I mean, like the population here, I think I saw a study on it not too long ago. It's only like 600 people. So,
Oh, in terms of homeless?
yeah, in a
Yeah.
community of like over 750,000.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
Well,
It's just that everybody sees them. So you think there's a shitload more of them than there are. So,
this is, I mean, I imagine that there's a fairly big swath of this country where you say, like, do you have a homeless problem? They would say, not really. And they'd say, why? It's because, well, because starting around like September, right?
oh yeah,
These, little ice crystals
yeah,
come
yeah,
from the
yeah.
sky, right? And so the places where, of course, you have the largest homeless problems are, of course, going to be all weather places.
Well, partially, but more specifically, it's almost entirely an urban problem.
That is correct.
So if you get a town of any decent size, you're going to start to get a couple of them. You
Yes.
know, so like here, yeah. I mean, you know, like Denver, it's much worse. I mean,
Yeah.
just going through Denver lately, it's just like holy shit,
When's
man.
the last time you had to go through there?
I was up there just a couple of weeks ago for that fucking concert.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
and even down by the ball arena, I mean, it was like, oh, there they are. There's a whole bunch of them right over there. So it was like, oh, open trash can fire, sweet. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those persistent problems um, that used to be dealt with as a mental health issue, and that's the other
Right.
thing that's an issue is that
Yep.
there's a whole bunch of people out there who fall into that category, and okay, addicts by circumstance, but like having mental difficulties by you know, like just just by being,
Right.
and so that's the primary condition, and everything else is kind of secondary to it. Like I said, it's been a little while since I dove into all that, but somehow that came up and it pissed me off, and so I was like, "What? Let me go like apply my powers of
I can
research to
tell you why.
this."
I can tell you why you did it because somebody probably oversimplified some bullshit
Something like
and
that.
told it to you as a fact, and it made you upset. I mean, it's the same.
Well,
Like,
it didn't make me. It made me curious because I was like, wait a minute, is it really that? Is it what you're telling me that it is? And that's usually when I go and I pull out my research kit. So
we'll get like when it
that
comes to the kit. Like, if you're talking about the stuff that happened just in the past, day here, we're talking about the guys that shot at the ICE facility.
was today. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I heard it on the news on the way back. What happened?
All right, so there was, and
This is in Texas, right?
yes, that's correct,
Okay.
and the shooter is dead.
Did
And
he kill
is just
himself or did they shoot him?
looked like he shot himself from the pictures I saw.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me, but those looked self-inflicted, and that's where I
No, I
stopped
didn't see
looking.
those.
Right. But he was dead as shit. And yes, this is a
He's dead
far
as
life.
shit.
Yeah, he's dead as shit. He gone.
He go
The
home.
the the thing was, yes, this was a far life left shooter.
How do we know that?
It's his presence. It's his.
Oh, online, social media.
Dude,
So they've already ID'd the guy.
oh yeah,
Okay. Right.
already ID'd. Again, he's doing that thing where he's writing "fuck ice" on the bullets, on the casings.
Is that the new thing? Is
That's
that
the
what
new
we do
thing.
now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we write our motive right on the ammo, so when we
Write
blow
our
our own heads off, then yeah, okay.
Correct. We write it on the ammo. I mean, my argument, and this was something that I was, joking about earlier on today, is um,
So wait a
what,
minute, did he kill any cops?
here's the thing. Okay, so no,
Oh.
what happened was there were 3 people killed, all detainees.
Oh fuck, really?
Yes.
Do you not mark his targets?
This, it's not the fucking end of like Dark Knight where it's like, so when you come in here, we dress you as cops and we wear like the
Okay.
it ain't like that. It's
Not like that, huh?
I just think he was just a bad shot. I think he was just a bad shot. And yeah, so
Was he like close or
he
was
was
he
on a
sniping?
rooftop.
Oh,
He
so
was
he
yeah,
was
he was
trying
sniping.
to snipe
Yeah,
her. Yeah.
yeah. Look, and let me point this out. This is another thing that I'd like to dispel. Like this myth here is sniping is difficult, right?
Depending on how far you are, I mean,
Well, shooting at any distance is harder than people think. Like just looking down the sights of a gun and hitting like
yeah,
a SpaghettiOs can, right?
yeah.
How good are you like standing perfectly still to hit that?
With my pistol,
Yeah, how far away would you be? Would you say comfortable?
anything 25 to 30 yards, I can nail it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but I've done a lot of practice, man. I
Gotten
mean,
a lot of
yeah.
practice, done a lot of
So,
shooting. Okay,
done a lot of shooting. I know how to hold a gun.
okay.
I know how to. Like I don't do all the like breathe out, kind of stuff.
Oh, right,
Shit,
right. Squeeze it down a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not.
Right,
I'm not
right.
like that. I'm much more of a target blinker. But if you give me my rifle, I mean, no problem.
How
So
good
I
are you
mean,
from there?
really good. So
Well, how many? Can you go a little bit longer?
well, I just have a 22, so I could go down to 100 yards, but after that, it's basically useless.
Okay,
I might as well throw a rock at you.
there you go.
So but
Right.
that's just that. But if you gave me like a 223 or 556, yeah, no problem. So
Okay.
I could probably go out. I mean, the farthest that I've probably done any serious practice shooting is probably about 200 yards, which
Okay.
is well within Donald Trump range of that kid. The same thing with Charlie Kirk. That was only about 150 yards. I would have got him.
Okay.
I would have got him.
My question would be, how many times have you shot at moving targets?
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
That adds a layer of difficulty.
It does.
Have you ever shot at those targets while you were moving?
Nope.
Okay.
That's a 0.
All right. So this
I
is
could not do that.
this is what I'm driving at here is like, yes, there is a thing where you can aim like this and you can shoot, right?
Yeah.
But shooting something that's moving is hard,
Yeah.
right?
Well, especially if it's running. So.
Well, especially it's running, or again, like it's just like you're shooting in an office, right?
Yeah, but anybody who goes through military training can do that. So, and that's
Well, they've done it a lot.
well, that's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of guys a year. So
Correct.
You're not going to have a shortage of people who know how to do that.
What I can tell you is this was no military man.
Apparently not.
This was you're basically like fat redditor. Well, he wasn't. He wasn't like completely fat, but you look at him, it's
I
like
always see like Papa Pig. I don't know why. So,
All right.
with the string
With
beard,
the
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so picture that face. He's got that kind of face with sort of like that fat face on a not like he doesn't have like a like super obese body,
Okay.
but you can see it's like I know what you
Yeah, I know
are,
who
right?
you are.
It's you're a victim of bad genetics and poor nutrition. Like I get it. So that happened, and it's
That was just today, though,
just
right?
today.
Yeah. See, like this is why like it's just you get your face too close to the glass, man. I mean, on some of this stuff, it's just it's one of those things where you got to give it a day or two. You know,
Well,
I mean, they got to give us the chance to give it a day or two. Come on, man. You can't just say like report at 6.
you got a point. All right, because that's the thing is you do run into diminishing returns at this point.
Well, totally,
Yeah,
especially if you're
very
using
much
it in
so.
a content
Yeah,
farm. Come on, man.
yeah. And I mean, this is one of the tough things is with the debate going on here in terms of like, is there radicalization going on here? Is it?
I can't
It's.
believe that's even a debate.
I
So
mean, clearly it is.
clearly, it totally is. So I mean, especially if they got redditors going after ICE now. Um,
And this was just this example. Evidently, there's a lot of people that have been arrested
yeah,
for
I didn't realize Antifa was still rioting in Portland.
every day,
That's fucking blew my
every day.
mind. I saw a whole report by that Andy Gano guy. Andy No.
Say it how you want to say it.
No,
I
no,
know,
I
no,
know it's
it's
no. I
it's
know how to pronounce it, man. I've had Vietnamese friends, so
okay. All right.
this is being silly. So, but it was like, what? That's still going on? What? So you guys are still arresting people at the courthouse every other night? It's like, what are they
Every
fucking kidding?
it's always well. Here's the
What
thing:
are they
is
getting? It's got to be the same people that are coming back. You know,
there's part.
eventually you got to do that like 5 times, and then you actually go to adult jail.
Well,
Or you just pick like, okay, who's going to get tagged tonight?
this is okay. So this was the again. This was something that came into that I wanted to bring up that shooting today because again that they were throwing around that same thing about like we talked about like where prison fights are considered to be right wing
Yeah,
violence,
that's not true.
right?
Yeah,
And so they were throwing around that statistic today and saying it's like,
that's just
guys,
the news doing that, though, right? And the Democrats.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
right.
I
Um,
think we've learned to ignore
well, you can listen to some again.
that. I was like, wait a minute. Canceling this guy is a problem? Really? And I've seen so many things this last week where it's like, this you, which is the classic comeback now on fucking X or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I know.
And it's like,
I
oh,
know.
I see you, Brian Stelter. It's like you're a fucking cartoon, bro.
Bro, even again, this is the thing is even Stephen King had the decency to
He
apologize,
did. I
and that gets mass respect out of me.
he's back in my good graces, especially after I saw that one of him being basically decrepit and getting his steps in a day. I was like, oh man, okay, man, we're cool.
Right.
So
No, it's fine. It's fine.
it's
I mean, it's
fine.
just
It's fine.
in the same token, if you have a relative who hits that 80 mark, and again, it's kind of like starts not doing anything about it, but eventually it's just like there's these people that control a disproportionate amount of wealth in this world.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly. It's like you ever notice how the sun comes up in the same spot every day?
yeah, it's like no, it's fine, Gramps, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah,
Like
it's okay.
here's the thing, you did a it's sort of like holding in your gut. It's like I get it. So once you hit 80, you've done a really good job of like holding in that belief, and I appreciate the 80 years of work that you did.
Right.
It's okay to
It's
go
okay
ahead
to
and,
let her
and
out.
yeah,
It's okay. You can notch down on your belt here, buddy. Yeah,
it's
notch
like
up.
I'm gonna give you that, man. You fought in Korea. It's cool. It's sorry.
It's okay. I know. Still going after Charlie, aren't you?
I was dying laughing. There was one of the things I was watching was, and I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan of this movie. I like parts of it, but there was somebody I like doing a watch along of Gran Torino, which again I like the movie, kind of. I mean, there's a part of it where it's like,
When he actually pulls out the gun, it's pretty bad.
it
Like,
is,
whoa.
but there's
Anyway,
there's a part of it where it gets up its own ass just a little bit,
yeah.
but for the most part, it's pretty good.
Dude, it's definitely got that white man from town kind of thing. You
It
know?
most certainly
Yeah.
does. Yes, because they're well, actually, it's not just white man from town. It's like um, white men from a certain generation are worthwhile if they're younger than this.
They're
If they're
useless.
yes,
Yeah.
they're ingrates. That okay, so I get that.
Bad boyfriends. Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
boyfriends, fucking fake gangsters, and all that shit. But when I'm watching this, and this is from the perspective, there's somebody she's like 24 years old. She's watching this shit, and she's the part that's jumping out at her like isn't the violence or anything. It's the slurs he uses.
Constantly.
And because this is me, so there's a part is like I always laugh at these things, so like nobody says it, and her face just keeps hitting. And there's this part where she's like, "Can you stop?" Where it's like this is an actual family member.
I know. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. I've seen that. I've seen that in other videos where they're doing reaction videos to like Full Metal Jacket, and they're just horrified by Gunny Hartman.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, oh come
yeah.
on, this shit's funny. You know, I mean, especially when he starts talking about golf balls and garden hoses. It's like, oh come on, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just lighten up a little bit. I know gay guys who think that's hilarious. So, so it's like, I mean, and it's the slur is actually the violence kind of thing. I'm telling you, bro, that is on its way out. That is the next thing on the list here. So
I would agree.
yeah,
There was, I mean, this was the weird thing again. I've gotten questions again. This was when I was being asked about it by Russians and stuff like this. Asked about this country again.
Russians.
They're still tripped out about that. Like, fucking, is this what it's like to ride a bus? I'm like, no. But that's also why we have cars.
Yeah, to be tripped out about the fact they're about to lose a fucking war. So
Yeah, we can get to that.
get back to that.
Okay. So, but yeah. So there's those kind of things. It's like, so what was it? What was it like? So like you got to understand. Like, so in the '90s, it was two things. It was number one. It's like, well, race doesn't matter, but we also made racial jokes all the time,
And they were good.
and they were good,
They were
and it
good.
was seen as I don't want to say respectful, but it was like the venom was gone.
There's a reason why Dave Chappelle is a guy. I mean, Chris Rock is a guy because
Chris
of
Rock
that.
is a
Yeah.
guy. It's
So
very famous set
excellent set.
that he was
Yeah.
forced to walk back.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think he would. He's like, because that's what built his mansion. But yeah,
One of many. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the thing. It's like people threw around the whole thing was like we've done away with race and we've taken away the venom from this,
Yeah.
and then we put the venom back in,
Yeah.
right? And that's the weird thing. I think that's part of the cycle, right? I think there's a version of things that probably happened a little bit before our time where it was,
Oh, I definitely knew guys who they still meant it. But
right.
they were old.
right.
They were
Yeah.
universally old. And
You are talking some hard R.
dude, all those guys are dead.
Yeah.
They're all dead. So they're all long
My
gone.
racist ass grandmother,
My
she's dead.
racist ass grandmother's way dead. So yeah. Was absolutely infuriated that my cousin married a Mexican. Nobody would nobody would care. I mean, nobody would care today. I mean, she definitely had to spit in her grave about 4 times just out of spite.
Well, this is just to go back to the Ohio people. This is the part where the racism is weird, right? Okay, so
The Ohio people.
yes, where my family comes from.
Oh,
my
I got you.
dad's side,
Okay,
right?
I thought I missed something on X.
Oh no, because this goes back to when my dad met my mom came back from I think he was in Okinawa at the time I can't remember but he came back from there and he came back with a Korean woman.
Right.
Okay, so everybody in the family because dad was previously married to a white woman, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Previously married to a white woman that cheated on his ass, and that's how that
That's a
all
good
played out.
reason not to be married anymore.
Well, I agree
Yeah.
completely. But the thing was, they were like, but we liked the white woman, who is this? So the only one that didn't like have a fit about it
Yeah.
was my grandmother, who hated black people.
Yep.
She's like, well, I'm not saying that this would be like my first draft pick, right?
I drew number 2 in the lottery. So
Right.
yeah.
It's like I'd have preferred this. I would not have allowed this, but this
Yeah.
is a happy medium, right? And she was the only one who wasn't a shithead for like 15 years about
See,
this.
my dad's family was like, so my aunt was fine with it. My whole mom's family is like, I mean, they you'd think they'd be the most racist people on the face of the planet
Was
because
this
they
all
all
from
come
Michigan?
from, yeah, they're all Dutch
Yeah.
colonialists, So, colonizers.
You think they actually grow up with black people though?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, in her like, no, no, not in that part of Michigan. So
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
but they're the most tolerant people on the face of the fucking planet,
Yeah.
with the exception of my aunt, who's still alive somehow, um, who basically disowned one of her sons because he was gay, and I mean everybody fucking knew he was gay. So like the day that I met him, I was like 8. I was like, I think that guy's gay.
I don't know what gay
I
is,
don't know
but I
what that
think
is,
he's it.
but I think
Yeah.
he's like that guy, you know, on the TV. so, so it's absolutely fantastic, and all the rest of the family, we just love him to death. But his mom just took a set against that. But other than that, I've never heard a lick of it out of my mom's family ever. So I've gotten it out of my dad's family. Specifically, it was kind of concentrated in my grandmother,
So again, this is so
who knew how to throw elbows in fucking Manhattan. So you know,
so well. All right, so I have to. There's a certain amount of latitude I can give with this, and you know, as my dad broke it down to me, he's like, look, um, I can tell you what Dayton, Ohio was like at this time.
yeah, different.
And he could say it's like there were you did not go to this part of town
Yeah,
because you weren't welcome in this part of town. And these people, it's like it's not like we like went out of our way. It's like this is just how it was done.
yeah.
And so my grandmother, my grandfather died early. He died at like 30.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and it was just straight up like alcohol poisoning, which means you got to hit it hard.
That
Which he
takes
did.
effort. That
Yeah,
takes effort.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is not fucking like amateur. This is like this is pro heavyweight. This is
Right, right.
uncontested world champion of the world. But so my grandmother, she never remarried or anything, so she was just a single woman that took the bus to the department store she worked at,
Okay.
right? And she did this for years,
Yeah.
right? Now,
Is Drew Carey her boss? So, he might have been the HR guy. You know,
okay, you gotta remember, my grandmother was not a fat woman. She was not a gross ass like transvestite looking, you know.
oh, she was funny.
Oh no,
What
I'm
was
not
her
so.
fucking name?
Uh,
Peggy? No.
uh, like Dee Dee or something like that. It
Dee,
was
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, she was just a foil for Drew.
yeah.
So anyway,
But anyway,
that's
this is
old. That's old TV.
oh
It's ancient history.
but you know, she is just a white lady going to work here, and I'm gonna tell you, and she, you know, says this. It's like she got mugged and robbed and
Yep.
got the shit kicked out of her by black folks. And this is the thing was, you know, it didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take that approach. But if I was just like a white woman from that time period and none of these people ever kicked my ass and robbed me, right? But these people did.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of latitude where I can be like, time period you're in, bad experience. I don't say it makes it right, but I get it.
Yeah. There's still but it doesn't make it right.
No,
I mean, because like,
but I get it.
I mean, well, yeah. It's such simple-minded thinking, though. You know,
We all do it. It's
we do it to a point, man, but eventually you kind of wake up to that stuff a little bit. And then, you know, like my dad probably had some of that growing up, but
I'm sure.
as soon as he got in the fucking military, it's like, oh, well, actually, no. My dad went to public school for a long time in Manhattan, so I'm sure he was fine. So
I'm sure I'm
you
sure
know,
he got picked on, and I'm sure he gave it back. I mean,
but that's what you do when
that's
you're
what
a
you do.
street rat in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
The same thing goes like when we
But
got in
my
the
dad grew
military.
up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so they went to the same fucking school.
That's so fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and so there's nothing about that that I would have any reservations where any of that stuff lasted beyond his childhood, and certainly my grandmother didn't affect his opinion on it. So
That does not sound like the kind of thing he'd take. It's like, I'm going to set my clock to this. Is my mother's racist beliefs.
yeah, dad was a little independent for that. So but I mean, it's just one of those things. When I still see, and it's kind of infuriating when I see, like over the last 10 years, we've kind of re-indoctrinated that a little
We
bit,
absolutely have.
and that's really unfortunate. And it's not going to last. That's the thing about it. That's kind of funny. Is that well, I mean, I can find humor in everything, including my dad's own death. So, but
And you got to give it a little time, but yeah, I think we're at that point.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think I got there a little faster because my dad was 20 years older, but whatever.
yeah, that's true.
And but like there's just the kids are sick of it. They are
Wouldn't
absolute.
you be?
They're yeah, and and then like when I see some folks my age or some who are a little older who keep pushing that envelope, and you just see the eye rolls happening with the kids.
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry, they'll die eventually. So, and then you get to set the rules, and I think your rules are. I'm going to like them a lot better if I'm still around. So because it's insufferable, and it's gotten to the point in time where the tide's gone out, and there's a lot of people running around without any shorts on, man. So
Well, that's a good way of saying it, man.
yeah,
Because this is, I mean, I told you this, right? And we talked about this for years, and the really stifling parts. And I told you, it's like, look, this is ugly, and it's going to turn the other way. I didn't think it would snap back this hard. Like, this isn't just the pendulum swinging. This is a rubber band breaking. Right?
well, I don't know, man. I mean, it still exists in a lot of places,
It does.
and it's going to be around for a little while, but it's just it's got no play left in it.
It's got no teeth. It's got
It's got
no.
no teeth.
Yeah.
It's not doing the thing that a lot of people were using it to do, which you can kind of see that a little bit better now that there are a lot of really disaffected people who are just basically looking for, some kind of oomph
Oh
in
yes.
the world,
Yes. Yeah.
and I mean you see it in academia, you see it in politics a lot, you see it in television.
Yes.
So, and it's gotten to the point in time where, like some of this stuff, it's becoming funny again. And that is the poison in the well for that.
You're done when that happens. Yes.
It's starting to get funny again, you know.
Well, listen. All right.
So,
So just
yeah, that's really when they ain't got no gas in it anymore, So
absolutely
yeah,
yes. Well, I mean, so if you were to go back to 2016, right?
not
This
funny,
well, this was the thing
not
was
funny.
was
We don't joke about race. Yeah,
well, it's not just about race. I remember at one point this was there was a joke on Saturday Night Live where they went out there and they talked about, I think it was Facebook,
hmm
right? The first group that basically went out there and said like, um, they went down a list. So this has been like maybe a year afterwards, but they're like, so Facebook has added, I think it's like 32 different identities that you can choose from, right?
yeah.
And the whole joke was like, we like to call this why Trump won. Now, here's the thing.
That's pretty funny. Yeah,
It's not a bad joke.
it's not bad.
The audience booed,
Oh,
and the fucking media the next day basically tore him a new asshole for it's like, how dare you?
oh, this was Saturday
Right?
Night Live.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so, this is the thing. It's like Saturday Night Live. It's like
pretty fucking
this
tame.
this version of Saturday Night Live. Look, it's your ratio is basically 96 fastballs to 4 curveballs, right? In terms of where you distribute your
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah,
You pick on this group considerably more,
yeah.
right? And I get
That's a
that.
good way to put that.
It is. It's just a pitch count, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's the same thing. Like Kimmel came back the other day. I came on TV and
I heard about his non-apology apology. So
well, it was an apology, and he's over there crying like a girl that's on her first period. But I mean, this is like, well, no, the problem I have with this is like, well,
that's not that funny because I've seen it. It will be in a couple of years, but yeah.
Well, okay, so the problem I had was there was like, well, you don't get to show me the tears. You were swinging for the fences when you said what you said, right? This little crocodile
Yeah.
tear shit, like that. There's a couple of components to this that really kind of piss me off. Is they're like, oh, this was an FCC thing. This is a dictator thing. It's like dictators don't let you back on the air.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's like if they say you're off, you're off,
Yeah.
right? And so the way that this really breaks out is ABC pulled it, and they pulled it because they talked to him and said, like, you really pissed some people off. What are you going to do? And his answer was, I'm going to
Nothing.
triple down.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to come
did see
after them.
that. I saw that yesterday when he was
Yeah.
talking.
So
Well,
ABC
he didn't
said,
say anything. He
well,
didn't
no, no,
say
no.
anything in public.
In
So,
public, no.
yeah.
But they reported like
Yeah,
what
some of
he
that
said.
stuff
They
was leaked out.
and so ABC's then said like, well, you're not going back on the air then. When you go back on the air, it's going to be with an apology, or you're not going back on. And the affiliate said like, we're not coming back either way. We're not carrying that shit.
I thought one of them folded.
Nope.
So, okay.
When he went back on,
You
it
watching
was
Celebrity Family Feud?
it was to about 33% less audience, and they're like, we're not going to carry it.
Well, he ain't going to get $30 million for that. So.
No, and so that's the thing is like, yes, you have people over there, and that dude. I joked about 96 fastballs to one. That's 99.
Yeah, no, he was 100 to 1.
Yeah,
He's a one pitch guy.
yeah,
So,
one
yeah.
pitch guy.
I mean, at least Fallon can throw one every now and then, So if he tries, or he's just trying to euphemis it up a little bit, man. Yeah,
that is an unforced error right there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're taking your base because that ball was in the stands. But yeah, that was the thing is yeah, you have this sort of disproportionate stupidity on this.
Well,
And
and
that's
I
where it
didn't
becomes
realize
funny
exactly
again.
how bad their ratings were. I mean, I
Yeah.
watch podcasts, and I'm not even talking about Rogan. I'm talking about like esoteric ones that get more views than he
Isn't that
does.
wild? Yeah.
That just kind of blew my mind a little bit. Now, granted, I mean, okay, so there is something about legacy media, but it's already changing. So they sold fucking CBS. So it went to a guy who's not having none of this.
Right.
So
Right.
same thing with CNN. If you look at CNN, Brian Stelter is kind of a
He's a sideshow attraction, man.
he is. He's a carnival barker, but that whole network is actually moving a little bit away. They're actually asking questions, about certain things. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, that's because your bread is about to get unbuttered, here because,
Love
that
that.
MSN now or whatever it is, because it's no longer MSNBC.
Because that was the problem. That was
Yeah, exactly. I think we found a problem, lady.
I was picturing like seven dudes in a meeting. They all got their heads down. They're like, they're just like rubbing their foreheads. And one
Right.
dude just jumps up. And is like,
I
it's
guess
the name.
I gets the name. Yeah. So, well, I mean, NBC sold it, and so they're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, and nobody could remember what the MS stood for, which I found hilarious.
I know what it originally stood
That's
for.
what it originally stood for. They're long fucking gone.
They don't have any tie to that anymore, do they?
No, no. But then
Why did they in the first place?
well, they were trying to get in the media. So Microsoft has tried just about everything at one point in time or another.
Well, this is true.
And they've kind of settled on, cloud servers and Office, so, and we still mint money, like crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy when you're good at one thing and you keep doing it well, that you get rewarded for it. What a fucking concept.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, GM is still a thing. It is, actually.
That's true. And they're not fucking like
They don't do like, cruises and
loans.
stuff.
Well, I mean,
anymore.
not
They
like
don't do mortgages anymore.
they're not Hyundai. They're not.
No, and they sell like trucks and various forms of truck. Even the one that I drive, which is a little truck. So, yeah. No, I get it, man. But I mean, like some of that's just changing, and I mean, it's kind of funny when you can see the tide going out before the people who are swimming. You're up on the beach a little bit and be like, it ain't gonna be like this in 2 years, man. I mean, and
Yeah.
it's already like all you people are you're getting pushed to the margins, and you're squealing like soon to be slaughtered pigs out there. because it's just like I get where you're at, all right, but if you scream this much louder,
Yes.
okay, it's
Yes.
one of those things that it's just like, come on, like just move. And I've seen a couple guys starting to, like Stephen King is a good example of that. Just get out of the water, okay? I mean, it's fine.
Believe what you want, say a little bit less.
Or yeah, or
Right.
not as meanly as you do, or not in a way that encourages a guy to pick up a rifle and go fucking shoot some ICE agents. Come on, man.
That doesn't mean that people aren't taking up his place.
Well, and that's the other thing that was interesting last week that completely went under my radar, but we should have talked about a little bit was the fact that they're actually putting Antifa on the terrorist list.
They
That's a
belong
big
there for a
fucking
long
deal,
time, man.
man.
As far as I'm concerned, they belong there for a long time.
Well, yeah, but I mean that actually opens up a lot of resources, and it actually puts it puts multiple different agencies on that case now, and even Antifa. I saw like I think it was Andy No who actually posted that they had like an oh shit kind of internal memo.
This is
They're like we might have overdone it a little bit.
this was the problem. Again, this is where like fucking blue sky retards for years. It's like it's not even a group; it's an idea.
It's totally an
It's
idea.
like, well, so it's an idea that broke all these windows. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you fucking like?
Oh, I thought you meant Blue Sky.
Well, no, well,
Yeah.
that's that. You would not.
No, Antifa is actually a group. I mean, its organization is kind of interesting, but it's no different than like the fucking the militia movement back in the day.
You're correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I mean
Yeah.
now once you started looking at some of the similarities, it's like, oh wait a minute, but you guys weren't getting arrested. Well, if those guys hadn't gotten the FBI fucking rolled on them, I wonder what they would have done. You know?
Another great question. Yes,
Yeah.
it's
So,
because
but fucking Janet Reno was having none of that back in the day.
oh man, in hindsight, man, this is a really tough thing to look at because I'm like, yeah, some of that was pretty heavy-handed. Um,
But it worked.
you're touching the big thing here is like, what version of New York do you want to live in? The Giuliani New York
Right, yeah.
or what you got right now?
What version of like fucking northern Michigan do you want to live in? The one
Yeah.
before, fucking the Branch Davidians, or the ones after?
This is yeah. These are
But
things.
actually, no. It was actually it was
Brand's video was Waco.
that was Waco. It was McVeigh who did that and
Yes.
blew that shit up, and
Oklahoma
everybody
City,
and
yeah.
that fucking murdered that entire thing
Yeah.
because everybody was just all of a sudden, it was like, yeah, actually, there's these guys who've been doing these things next to my land. You might want to go check them out.
See, I just used to look the other way for a while. I'm like, this just having a good time, right?
Right. Those aren't paintball guns, though.
Nah, man. Like,
Yeah.
so whenever look, man, I can tell you, like, having prairie dogs on your land is a big problem. Like, fucking horses step in those holes, they'll break them, break their legs.
Yeah.
So when they were over there just blowing up prairie dogs, it's like, okay, man, it's like you guys are doing a good service. But then they blew up that building,
Right.
and I thought I should say something.
Yeah, I thought my neighbor was just collecting tanks.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
This is
right.
kind of eccentric, man. And then he started painting shoe stuffle bolts on.
See this? Okay, where when it comes down to the actual categorization, do they put uh uh do they put Ted Kaczynski on either side?
No, I don't. So I've read a couple different things about him. So, I mean, his writings were clearly communistic. So, but I don't think
Well,
anybody.
anti-technology for sure,
Oh, he had some
but
very,
yeah,
very,
yeah,
very socialistic.
yeah.
Like almost. I mean, like the closest thing that I saw on him was that there was a lot of Trotsky in him. So which is kind of esoteric. It's a breed of communism that Stalin murdered with an ice pick, literally.
These these two things can't occupy the same space at the same
Correct.
time.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah,
In fact, he
yeah.
went all the way to Mexico City to get him. It's pretty damn good.
It's good.
That's a real story. That's a real story.
I knew he got rid of him. I didn't know that he.
He had fled all the way to Mexico City and had these writings and stuff. And so Stalin had his goons go all the way to Mexico City, storm his compound, and stab him with an ice pick. Okay. So to kind of give everybody the idea, and like the interesting thing about that is that's actually like smart. because Trotsky represented this alternative form of the Soviet government,
Right, right.
and he had escaped and was still writing and stuff. And Stalin was like, "Oh no, you're never coming back, and your shit dies with you," and it did.
Well, there, there's this thing you can remember where it's like, all right, so you know how we caused this revolution,
Yeah,
right? What I can't have is you coming back and starting another one.
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you know, but like that's neither here nor there because we were talking about Kaczynski in some ways, like, and I've also seen people like compare him to like the romantic, like Thoreau and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's a piece of that in there. That's where I'm like, but that there's a part of that that actually sort of crosses over into a very specific type of right.
I don't think either side or like parts of the sides could probably claim him if they wanted to, or blame him on the other side if they wanted to. He there's not a peg that fits his hole, so to speak. I mean, the guy was legit like fucking brilliant and crazy. So
Right. This is okay. So no, you're raising a good point. So the classic perspective that we have of serial killers as like super geniuses is 100% wrong. They are
except that guy.
well, and that's the thing
Yeah.
is most of the time I think they're like 10 to 15 IQ points below
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
the average.
yeah.
But this thing where it's like it's always like this Hannibal Lecter kind of thing. It's like yeah, it's happened like twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really rare.
yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing about him is he probably would have gotten away from it years, but his manifesto, his brother was like, "Oh, that's my fucking brother." I've heard this conversation before. So he was like, "He's going to stop killing people." No, he lives in the cabin up there. You guys need to go get him.
Yeah, I mean that's all. It's just the same thing. Like with the fucking dude who shot Charlie Kirk. It's like dude just got turned in by his father. You know?
Um, yeah, I mean, so that guy's still alive,
Yes.
and so that'll be interesting to see what he. I didn't see how he entered his plea. I assume he entered the plea as not guilty.
Good point. I don't know
I didn't
because
look
the
at it because that got scraped off real fast, man. Because they got the guy, so there's not some international manhunt. It turned out that he was actually like pretty sloppy about a lot of things. The funny thing, and I was trying to track this down, was he was talking about his grandpa's gun,
yeah
and they were saying that it was a Mauser 98. And if that's true, that is a World War II
right
from the
right.
Nazis. And I mean it goes back further than that because the World War One they use the same one, but there's like modern ones too, and so. But otherwise, that's really specific.
Well, he's talking about I'm going to get in so much trouble if I lose the gun.
Yeah, and if that's the kind of gun that it is, then that's a really rare thing. Anyway, I'm curious
There's
about watching that. And then
so there's an
and then there's been all this shit about like Candace Owens was going off about this last week about it's Walter White, fucking texting Skylar to get him off, and I think he's like 15 points below that list too.
there's a well so there's a
So I think that's a pretty far stretch, man. But we'll see. He's not dead, so we'll find
no,
out.
no, no, no. You're right. Well, there's a couple of components that yeah that do have some sort of mystery to them, where it's like, all right, so you talk like fucking idiots, but none of you misspelled anything, right?
But guys like that.
I do,
Yeah.
but there's this thing. There's this version like where when he talks about the gun, it's like, LOL, my grandpa's going to be so mad if I lose this. I'm like, okay, this could be that's just enough. That's enough to be stupid enough to be real, but it's
Yeah.
also it would also be one of those things where it would just be bad writing. It would just be
Dude, the dude
you
just
write
shot
human
a
beings like
fucking
that.
famous guy, has everybody in the fucking world looking for him. I don't
Wow.
imagine he's actually thinking very clearly. So, at that time, I mean, we're not talking about the fucking guy from the French Connection here.
No, no.
He's not the jackal.
This is it's funny. I was just thinking the same fucking thing.
He's all stone cold and just, slipping onto the subway afterwards.
No, you're right. There aren't that many Golgo 13s in this world,
There are.
if any. I
If
mean,
any.
there's okay. So every now and then, and this is people make the argument. I've heard this when it comes to like hitmen, right? there are people that say
You mean
like,
the ones that aren't FBI agents posing as
okay, so I would argue, right? I would say like 85% are Fed related
right,
or adjacent.
exactly.
But there's the other component of like, you found this person on Craigslist, and when they come to you, it's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll kill your boyfriend. It's like, how much? It's like, yes. Well, my mortgage, well, like my rent is like 1,400 this month,
Yeah,
1,500.
yeah, you can pay my rent.
Yeah, I pay my rent, and so I can like buy like some jawbreakers
Right,
and
yeah,
shit.
right.
And you're like,
You
wait a
get a new
second.
PlayStation.
Yeah, and you get down to it, so you must be a pretty shitty hitman if you're going to kill this person for the price of 1 month's rent, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff you see that on Telegram all the time,
Right,
and it's
right.
just like, really? It was like, can't you just sit down and talk to your boyfriend and tell him like I'm done with you? It's like, no, I'm gonna kill him. It's easier. It's like, okay, all
All
right.
right, well, I got a job to do
Yeah,
too.
I
It's
gotta
like
do. Yeah,
I got 5 kids to feed. No,
five kids to feed and a
yeah.
new PlayStation.
But then you get to that other section and say like, but are there ones that you never hear about? I'm like, that's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible. It's probably there, but I mean, if you talk to anybody in law enforcement, I've talked to lots over the years. They say, like, yeah, like half the murders out there go unsolved. You know,
Because their first time,
what?
I've heard that the if it's a person's first like crime, that is so difficult to solve.
It can be,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, there's just a whole bunch of other reasons. I mean, a lot of it is just circumstance. A lot of it's like, okay, you shoot a guy in his living room and he lives by himself. Okay, how long is it going to take somebody to find that? It could
Yeah,
be weeks.
yeah, yeah.
So until the bears start breaking in or something, you got coyotes all over your yard or something. I mean, it's stuff like that, man. But yeah, maybe there's like one or two in there that are actually legit. I mean, the cartels do that kind of shit.
That is true.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's in-house kind of stuff. And the other
I
thing,
see. I consider that kind of like gang violence. I mean, that's sort of the weird part.
yeah,
But
it's a little bit more sophisticated, but yeah.
yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of cartel people.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not going to talk about the really crazy shit where it's I'm going to wear your face like a mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but
I
what I'm
know.
going to
Yeah.
talk about are there's a lot of them where two dudes drive up on a dirt bike, empty out a
Yep.
couple Uzis, and they drive
And
away.
off they go. Yeah, and or they'll pull you out of your car, to steal your car and then machine gun you in the ditch. So yeah, I'm not going to Mexico, man. If
I'll
I'm
go
going
with
there,
you.
I'll fly.
Right, I ain't driving through it.
Drive my SUV over
And
there.
there are certain places in Mexico now, like
You don't
so.
belong here.
Well, it's not even not that you don't belong here. There are the places that you do belong, and those are the places where, yeah, every 2 feet you see dudes with rifles.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, my brother went to where did he go?
Cancun,
No,
Cabo.
he went to Cabo, not too bad, and not too long. No, it wasn't Cabo. It's whatever one's on the West Coast. So it's famous. You know it. I just can't
On
remember
like
what
the
it is.
Yucatan or what?
No, on the West Coast, the other side.
That is the one. Oh no, not the Yucatan. What
No.
is the Baja?
Yeah, on that side. Anyway, he said it was fun. So
Yeah.
there's no guys, no machine guns, no
Yeah.
barbed wire. So it's like Juarez. Don't go there. So
Well, I guess that's the question: is there like a Mount Rushmore type thing in Juarez that I should be seeing?
no,
That's what I'm saying. Is
no,
like,
no, don't.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been told don't go there. So you know, so if you're away from the border, it's fine. So
the so all right. This is where CNN, to their credit, like right now, I know one of the things that they're doing is they're trying not to. And I respect them for this when it comes to like actually getting out the vote, right? One of the things that they can't do, and this is something that they've had problems with in the past years, is to go ahead and sit there and take certain polls and say like, "Oh, we're doing fine," right? Our guys are doing fine. It's great.
what the
And-
Democrats?
yeah.
Oh, that didn't work out.
And when they showed the numbers the other day,
They're terrible.
I did not believe how fucking underwater the Democrats are on virtually every issue.
Yeah, there's only like three. It was like climate change or the environment. Sure, okay, they're going to own that space. Got it.
Correct.
All right, and I mean that's a umbrella thing too, because all right, so a lot of people don't give a fuck about like renewable energy. Okay, but a lot of people do give a fuck about trash, all over the place and recycling. I mean,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, so fine, you guys get that one. They still had health care, and that's just because they advocate for universal health care coverage. So, okay, whoever's going to take that position is going to own that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and the rest of them were like just progressively worse. So, I mean, you
Well,
know, like everything, like foreign policy, fucking the economy, the border, immigration, crime.
well, it was funny because yeah, the top three, the things that people said were their top three issues, right? The
Crime.
well, okay, that was I think number three.
That was pretty far up there.
Immigration was number two.
Yeah,
So what do you think first is?
probably the economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the economy was the closest one at like nine below.
Yeah.
Okay. When it came to
It
immigration
was 20
and
points off. It
yes,
was amazing. I saw the same thing.
okay, you
Yeah,
saw this shit,
I
and
saw the same thing.
what's amazing to me here is that there is still no deviation from the current strategy of well, we have our position, we're not going to alter it, we're just going to continue to say like fascist. Like that does not
Nope,
work
it's
anymore
not working.
because you have played your card too many times. 5 years ago, you could say that in person. I'm not fascist.
Yeah, dude. So that came out what? That came out on Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like yesterday, I spent some time watching some of the guys that I watch while I was grading papers and shit. And there's like Democratic strategists out there who are kind of like, guys, yeah,
Either change course out or just punt this.
or I'm going to go work for Red Team, kind kind of thing, because they're just really far away on some of the issues. And I mean, so Charlie Kirk gave us a timeout for a week, um, on focusing on issues, shall we say? And now that that came out, it's right back on there. And that thing came because that was done by, I don't think it was Rasmussen, which you can't really. I mean,
They're
they're not bad.
they're not awful.
Yeah,
They're not okay. Who is
it's
the really garbage one? It's
there's a bunch of them, man. So like, don't ever trust anything from YouGov. It's awful. So
oh, I'm on YouGov. I've taken those surveys.
they're terrible, dude.
I've Patrick.
You trying to push the needle?
I have taken YouGov surveys.
Do they pay you for those?
Once you take like 70 of them,
Oh, all right, I got it now. Yeah, I think we found a problem.
and after you take like 70, they're like, so do you want your gift card to Chipotle or Qdoba? Right? This is I'm not shitting you. Because there were a couple things I got hoodwinked by, and it's stupid shit where I'm like, I think Will can testify to this here too. I was like, because Duolingo is bad about showing these things. I was like, wait, I can get played for playing solitaire, and so
I don't get those ads.
oh yeah, yeah, and they used to show a bunch of like casino ones and stuff like that. But yeah, those would pop up. I'm like,
That's interesting.
it's like I get, and then there's another one that popped up. It's like get paid for taking surveys. I'm like, all right. Then I signed up. Then they started asking me my political opinions and stuff.
Okay.
They asked me a lot of like media questions. It's like, do you recognize any of these movies? I'm like, were they made in 1990 to 2000? Do you recognize any of these actors? I'm like, I've seen his face.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Right. And then when it comes to like, political questions, it's they always have a dummy question in there where they tell you to answer the wrong answer to prove that you're a human.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
How long ago was this? Is this during the election?
did this like yeah, maybe like a year ago.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Maybe like a year ago. So yeah, I can tell you the kind of people that take these things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you got to be really careful about that. But not, like we're still a year away from midterms here, and so now's actually a good time to actually take survey data kind of seriously.
Right.
So because like nobody's really involved or engaged and stuff, and so you're relying on your paid pool of dedicated survey takers who honestly are a little bit more accurate than your general run of the mill surveys, which go. These are the ones that go private when you get close to the election because they can charge campaigns for the actual real data.
Right.
And so that one came out, and you didn't realize exactly how adrift the Democrats are, and they got no leadership. There ain't no leadership in that thing.
They
So
have not told the right people to shut the
shut the
fuck
fuck
up.
up, like Ilhan Omar the other day. Oh my god, the dude, that was everywhere. That was fucking everywhere, and I could feel people's blood boiling. So from my basement, I was like, oh, if my mom sees this, I'm gonna get up. I could feel both of my in-laws gyrating in their fucking swivel chairs in front of their computers. So I was like, oh my god, I know how mad they are right now.
To think is like, what is the worst possible thing that you could say? I'm
With
like,
a smirk on your face too, the
with a
entire
smirk on
time,
your
man.
face. Yes, and then you have the cadre of fucking idiots where it's like you top yourself every day. It's like you have that combination of discount Obama. I can't remember. I never remember his name.
Jeffries,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, that
he's
dude,
useless, man.
useless,
He's useless.
not eloquent.
I
I mean,
think the
this is
Democrats know that he's useless.
there's nobody that says like Miss Crockett, please stop making us all look
I
bad
haven't actually seen
every
her this
day.
week. Yeah, she's from Texas, though, right?
She's from Texas in one of the districts that is basically got wiped out in
Is
the
it?
redistricting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this
The
is
Texas got her back, huh?
it's like say what you got to say now because
You're out of here. You're gonna get a spot on that MSN. Wow, or whatever it
correct. Yeah,
is.
well, and that's the thing is again this goes back to that same kind of like I can't believe the censorship. I was like, you're telling me that in a world where Donald Trump, the dictator, right,
Mhm.
could pressure his goons and make the View disappear,
He
it
would
would
have.
still be there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you know what dictators do? Like when people were putting out their corny ass like political comics about this free speech, I'm like, do dictators let political comics like this go?
No,
Like, I want you to see what happens in China in terms of what media
it
disappears.
doesn't exist.
Correct.
It does not
Correct.
exist.
So when it comes down to it, did Trump do the suspending? No,
No.
ABC did.
Yep.
Because they're down. Look, regular networks, you know this too. Because when it comes down to it, they're owned by Disney, and Disney is also backtracking hard right now because like we pushed this thing too far for a while.
Bob Iger's realized that he's got to get the kids back in the station wagon. Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
he's started to realize that a little bit. So, because you can call him many things, but he's not a stupid businessman. So
He's weird.
he is weird.
He takes like 14 showers a day in his office. He that dude is more than happy to. All right, I would argue, and I think you'd be on my side in here on this one when it comes to like successful business. Like delegation is key.
Mhm.
Like the more stuff where you're like, I'm so hands on. I'm going to be there for every decision. I'm going to be here for like overlooking Star Wars. I'm going to be over here looking. It's like no, they're good business people have to say like
You go do the tunnel company.
right.
Yeah.
Did you actually? Okay, so that was. Did you see that shit? Where
I
like,
haven't seen
so what
anything.
is how Tesla is cementing its future?
No, I don't know anything about it.
It is basically, I believe, was that XAI is going to be part of Tesla.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so if people have a hard time and they're like, all right, the market is growing for this, you have this going for you.
See, that's good because, like, again, my problem with investing with any of Elon's companies is if he dies.
Right, and that can happen. You want to look? Let me put it to you this
There
way.
is such a thing as a ketamine overdose. Yeah.
There's a ketamine overdose, and look, at this point, this it would not surprise me at this too much. Like if you're talking about dudes who would get shot,
I think he's probably a hard enough target now.
I would like to think
I
so.
would hope
But
so. I mean, there's like certain guys that definitely have security details that rival that of the president. One of them's going to be J.D. Vance for sure. So I bet you
yeah,
Ben Shapiro rolls with a pretty fucking big crew now.
well, my understanding is that Ben Shapiro has like two places where he's going to be, and they're both going to be protected. He's not that
Well, he still goes to college campuses, so he doesn't do them outside.
right,
Yeah,
right. So I mean, he is. I
but
just got to say there is the
he would be one that's probably pretty
yeah.
hard. So
But I mean, it is like look. Let's face it. President got clipped in the ear. So
that was real close. That was yeah.
oh, did you see the second
I
guy? He
didn't
got
realize he defended himself. That guy's fucking crazy. Got it. They try to drag him across, get him like all kinds of these fucking high, super huge dude lawyers tried to like, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna do it myself." It's like that flag's got fringe on it. So,
and guilty on every charge.
well, yeah, and so the judge was like, "All right, I guess we're gonna do it this way. Fastest trial ever."
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. Is there are certain safeguards. There are certain things where, yeah, before you're about to go wander into like level 60 territory, it says, well,
It's an editorial, man.
so you're out plastered, you know that, right? It's like you click OK. It's like once you go here, you can't come
That
back.
guy's
You
got
know that,
four
right?
skulls, four red skulls over.
And then after
Yeah.
you click OK on that one, it says, okay, just to make sure it wasn't accidental.
Mhm.
Type four number fours.
Are you sure? Are you sure? You sure about that? Yeah, yeah. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, obviously this guy's a lunatic. So anyway, off to prison for you forever.
Right.
So off you go. But no, man, I mean, we're probably like, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to put this on the record, but I'm going to do it anyway because I already did it. It's only a matter of time before we see an American suicide bombing.
Yeah.
It's only a
Yeah.
matter of time before like so the thing about Charlie Kirk is that I think like that's actually healed a lot of things on that side. There's going to be a lot of like disaffected 22-year-old young men, all right, who are probably going to come back into the fold now, because there's an avenue for that. It's church. But a lot of people are taking to that. And so I think that's going to absolve some of that problem. That does nothing about like certain elements of the left or the radical, the Antifa left. But I mean, it's going to depend on how this guy's trial goes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But still, in order to score points and, witness me, kind of stuff, they're going to start upping the ante and you're going to get crazier and crazier shit. And so, trying to bag a couple ICE agents is a step in that direction. Um, I mean, like, just wait. I mean, some podcaster is going to eat it. So it might be Joe Rogan, or fucking I don't even know who else is out there, on that
Fucking
side.
Theo
Fucking
Vaughn or fucking
they'll get a comedian,
they'll
they'll
get
bag like Theo Vaughn or Shane Gillis or something like that.
Shane Gillis. Who's the dude in the beanie? Tim Pool.
Tim Pool, he's okay.
Look, dude, you get who you can get.
yeah, exactly. You get who you can get. So to
That's
speak.
why I put it to you this way, like because you mentioned her name, it's like they blow away Candace Owens if they had the opportunity.
They probably would.
Because he's
Tucker,
on that
they get
side.
Tucker,
Yeah,
and I
they
mean,
get Tucker.
fuck, they've had Twitter videos of there are people catching Tuckers like fucking, fishing in Central Park. So okay, all right, maybe that's gonna stop now. But yeah, and then like I mean, but the thing about the political assassinations are different, man, because that's not new. All right, I mean that happened in the '60s. I mean they tried to take out Jerry Ford like four fucking times.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
And well, in the 1800s, it happened a lot too.
it happened a couple times, but there was no Secret Service back then, man. So, I mean, President Lincoln had a bodyguard who pulled up a chair next to him and watched the fucking thing. Because Lincoln invited him into the box, So, I mean,
Kind of polite thing.
a little bit different times, man, but nowadays, like, and it's sad to think about it, but Charlie Kirk was kind of an obvious target, just the way that he was actually engaging with people. But here's the other thing: is a lot more people are going to do that. There's this whole pick up the mic kind of thing going on
Yeah.
now, where they're organizing shit all over Colorado lately.
Fucking Turning Point just opened like 200 new chapters.
Exactly.
It's huge
It's
now.
yeah, and then that and so that's going to actually tamp down a lot of that bullshit. Which just means that like if and especially if the FBI. See, here's the thing: is like actually putting Antifa on the terrorist list. It's going to get fucking
It's
like
access to their money.
well, it's not just access to their money, but it orients some of those really dangerous agencies in their directions finally. And if you look at that, I mean, where are the Proud Boys? They don't exist anymore. Because like just a little bit of that spotlight got turned on them at that point in time. So and like it's just going to take a couple major busts to basically rip the guts out of that thing, and then it'll go away, and then it'll be militia territory, and we'll talk about like, oh my God, yeah, there'll be a little museum in the Portland courthouse. They'll talk about the 480 days we were under siege. So,
Bro, I mean
then it'll go away.
that's and the joke about that there too is and they're absolutely right is there have been so many people that on Twitter and places when they've talked about going after this and they respond like, you understand that they're named anti-fascist, like you can name yourself whatever you
Whatever you
want. The whole
want, yeah.
joke on this here is like, it does not make you immune to doing shitty things because you choose the name that makes you sound awesome.
No, you break the law, you go to jail.
Correct.
So, and I mean, there's a reason why like the civil rights movement worked. And it wasn't because of the Black Panthers, man.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a reason why that doesn't really exist anymore. And the same thing with like the Weathermen and like the
What are the
fucking Klan.
Weathermen
I mean,
from?
does the KKK even exist anymore? I'm sure it's like
Patrick, according to some people,
they're fucking
they're
everywhere.
under every rock you turn over.
By statistics, I should have one or two of them in my house. So,
Patrick, I don't open my mailbox in.
No, I know, but it does like I can't even think of the last time I met somebody who would even be remotely adjacent to that in one way or another. It's been ages, dude.
Well,
So
so check this out. All right, so when I was doing that dig into um, how they break down those left versus right statistics, right?
yeah,
And I was like, how do you define what are the things you define as right? And it immediate, it's like, well, it's white nationalism. I was like,
dude, the ADL put everything on the list. I went and looked at that too.
it's embarrassing. Well, and
Yeah,
this is the thing I said, like, well, how can you? I said, when is the last? I said, is there any politician on the right that has said anything endorsing white supremacy in the past 25 years?
yeah.
The answer is no,
No.
right? It's like, so how do you break this down and
Not
say,
since David Duke.
no,
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
that's
So
correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
yeah, and that dude was
Dude, that guy was laughed out of the room.
walked. I mean,
Yeah.
just like and that was the funny thing is like, this has not existed in there. I said, so what is what is the condition that people are making this tie? You
Yeah.
know what it told me? It said, well, because, and this is they said everyone that has endorsed or said
Yep.
anything about the Great Replacement theory
Yeah, they're on the list.
is a white supremacist.
Yeah, I know. So I did some digging into that. Like, so here's the deal that I could find just going through the sources that I could find on it. I didn't use Grok for this, so I don't use AI when I go tinker around with stuff.
Well,
So
I give it the Wikipedia treatment. I say like, all right, where'd you pull this? And then that's where I go.
yeah, but the problem with that is that there could be five good sources out there. It picks one. So
Well, you ask.
yeah,
That's the thing is I
yeah,
said
yeah.
every one
So
of my questions starts with tell me where you found this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I still find problems with that.
Oh, there are problems.
There are definitely
Yes.
problems. So if you actually go through the web, the FBI sources on that one.
Yes.
So the FBI has had the ADL advise it on these things, okay? But the FBI feeds the data to the ADL. The ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center are the guys who collate those and publish those separate. The FBI does not actually publish those. So as hate crimes or anything like that. The FBI, like if you actually go through their data set, there is no delineation within it whether a crime is considered left or right.
Not left or right. It does measure hate crimes, though.
That comes because that comes back from the ADL, but that's not actually in the FBI database. Okay, the FBI crime statistics, all right, do not record hate crimes. Okay, so those guys publish those hate crimes, and then the FBI links to them on their site, but that's not actually part of the FBI database. Okay, so the FBI database is pretty clean cut. It's been the same since the '60s, and that's what's going on with the Southern Poverty Law Center in particular. You know why they categorize this shit? Because basically, if they don't, they're out of fucking business. Because remember, that goes back to the '30s. That was the whole point behind having a Southern Poverty Law Center was to prosecute the Klan. And I don't know. I watched Mississippi Burning. I remember how that ended.
I do.
With a whole bunch of suicides and prison terms.
This and this is. I mean, this is where there's no version of rubber meets the road, right? That thing that you've asked me is like, have you met any actual white supremacists in your life? I can say, yeah, one.
I think I've met like two, so maybe three.
Well, this is the thing is
Yeah.
I've met people with tendencies, but I've only met like one actual like white supremacist who I'm like, what is that tattoo?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dead on. I'm like, there's no questions to be asked about this. It's not blacked out, and these are the people's like, I unabashedly say what I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Other people kind of have the like, well, I just don't like these guys.
Yeah, that's different though,
Right?
man. No, like actual like bona fide roll or die kind of guys. Yeah.
Yes.
So I've met a couple, but it has been a minute, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It has been
Yeah.
a fucking minute. And so, there are certain parts of the country where that's a little bit more common, but those parts of the country have all been depopulated. So,
For the most part.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't really need to worry about that anymore.
This is okay. I mean,
'Cause they did pack up the fucking, the lawnmower plant and move it to like,
this is the thing that's pretty funny too. Is like we've joked about it before. It's just that thing of like, you are next. I mean, because when you look about it, you say like, all right, so what jobs have been basically put out to pasture by this and by when? And you say, oh, well, this city. Okay, this left. This is what happened.
Yep.
This left, and this is what happened. And you're sitting there and you're looking like, wait, this thing codes 10 times better than you do.
Oh,
You
yeah.
say, where is the coding factory?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where's the
I'm like,
coding factory?
well, it's over here where the weather is the same every day.
Right, yeah.
So when they shut down the coding plant, right? Do you think that people are just going to keep living in this expensive ass area just because they can?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's going to happen to you. It comes for all of you. The thing is, and I've said this before. You know this. It's like it will not. It will only add more jobs. We have no idea what they are yet.
Oh, AI.
Yeah, correct. Right.
Again, right now it's just it's a cost eliminator.
Correct.
So it'll turn around and we'll see. I don't know that, man. I mean, this is a whole nother podcast here, but like just playing with it a lot myself. I don't do it professionally like you do, but I also
Right.
I have practical use cases for it,
You absolutely do.
and I can tell you where its limitations are in those cases. So
Yeah.
and the other thing is like this fear that, I mean, it's just it means that jobs are going to be different, same but different.
Right.
And it'll be fine, man. I mean, just roll with it. I mean, I'm waiting the next market crash so I can roll back into more raviolis, but whatever.
I don't blame you. I mean, you're right, and I mean that's one of the. You don't want to be the person. There's this version of the thing. I get it. There is. I think once you cross a certain point, I can't tell you exactly what it is. I think every man gets there by his own conclusion. But there is a certain point where you say at this point in your life, whatever that age is, you're like, I just need this to not flip over for another X years. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're 20, fine. There's this whole thing of like, you should, in hindsight, I'm like, y'all should be thinking about switching your major. Think about this and really what you want to do with your life.
Yeah,
or,
move. So,
move or just say like, I don't know if I like this job.
Right.
stuff
Do you
like
want to do
this.
this for another 30 years?
Right,
If the
right.
answer is no, it's time to move.
And
So,
there's
yeah.
that version of things where it's like, okay, expect the changes. But once you start, I know for me, I'm like, how quickly is this stuff going to change? Like, when will I have
Yeah.
taught these things enough where they're like, we're good?
Yeah, it happens. It happens to
But the
everybody.
answer is going to be, it's going to be a long time because we're in that top 10% now. And that is where it takes the most work. That is,
It takes a lot of work. And, I mean, like with the internet, when it came out, nobody saw the end case for it,
right,
and
right.
yeah, and so, but now, like, even the internet's kind of tame and dull,
Well, it's
it's,
omnipresent.
well, it's
It's just a
omnipresent,
given.
but it does what it's going to do. We'll put it that way,
It's just a means.
it's absolutely means, and it's perfectly normalized. Nobody says, "Oh, the internet cost me my job," or anymore, and it's just
People used to do that, huh?
they used to do that all the fucking time.
Who are the people that used to
Travel
complain about?
agents,
Oh,
yeah,
oh yeah. I
fucking
was
bank
one.
tell. But see, that's the funny thing is, like, even I was talking to my banker buddy about
Yeah.
this a little while ago. He's like, "Yeah, we still man tellers and we pay them 10 times as much as we used to because they do basically do accounts. They open new accounts, and I mean they're way better at it than the internet is." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's nice to know. I thought you'd just basically all turn to ATMs eventually." He's like, "Oh no." So, everybody does their banking online.
Right,
So, but if
right.
you have a problem, you don't want to ask the chat bot. I was like, that's right. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's because of that last 10%.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
exactly what it is. So,
No, you're 100% dead on. It's a fascinating. That's a great way to put it.
yep.
Yeah, and
And AI will get to the same point. I mean, there's so much like, I mean, there's so many Chicken Littles out there who want the fucking sky to fall because it means that we get UBI or something like that.
that won't be the result
It
of
will not
this.
be the result of this. And the other thing about it is that it's just like, dude, get off of it. Get a fucking job. Put your shoes on, pay your bills. This is my old man coming out here, man. And it's like, shut the fuck up. All right. So the sooner that you get your ass in gear, the better off you're going to be. And then you're not going to be worried about this shit. Come on, man.
Well,
It's just bad advice.
there,
So,
again, there's this thing
bad
about
medicine.
well, it's bad medicine, and I mean, if you just look at the situation as is now, and you say, all right, are there industries, and you and I both know this is true, where it's like, okay, how long did it take for you to get a fencer to come here and fix this thing? It's like it took
Ages.
4 weeks,
Ages.
right? So if it takes him 4 weeks, then that means there's room in the market
Uh-huh.
to add another person, and now it maybe takes two, right? That's not how it works,
They can,
but I mean, you'd have to add way more people for it to take two,
yeah.
right? But
Well,
those,
some of that is the wages in those jobs have to catch up too, and they are rapidly. Okay, so like we've been looking at drywall guys lately. I'm like, fuck.
I'm in the wrong fucking
Yeah,
business.
exactly.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
in the wrong fucking business, but I can't work that hard, So,
Oh no.
and
No.
it's like, okay, so, like, this whole thing, I've been watching these guys for a couple of years now, disaffected young men. It's like, you guys are going to be in your prime in about 2 fucking years
Correct.
here. And all these podcasts are going to age like shit. you know?
The Washington Post they tried to counter this today, right? They said they went the bipartisan route, and they said, okay, it was something to the tune of like 87% of Democrats and 67% of Republicans say that going to college is somewhat important.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that's the thing is it's not necessarily a college thing, right? Eventually, it won't be a college thing. It's where do you train to basically get into getting money? And this is the discussion I was having with my doctor. Is the same thing. It's like I don't know. She's just like my kids are like 9.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if the best thing for them is college.
It might be.
It's like,
Yeah.
and again, this is a doctor, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to have a doctor who doesn't go to college. So someday,
Correct.
and so the same
Right.
thing. You're not going to have a lawyer. You're not going to have an accountant who does that. And so, like, I tell my students consistently, it's like the most powerful combination you can have in the market right now is a trade and like maybe an associate's in accounting. You will be lethal if you do that. So, and maybe you do want to actually go on and finish your BA at some point in time. It is a point of pride and achievement.
Oh,
you know? And
absolutely.
so,
No,
yeah,
this is
but
100%.
like the thing from the 90s where we knew that like Ross Perot, the great sucking sound of jobs, which he was 100% right about,
Absolutely
you
right.
know, and then everybody's like, oh, well, we can fix that with college. And yeah, you can fix a lot of things with college, but the number one thing that college does for most people now is it fixes fuck ups in high school. It really does, man. And so if you need 3 more years of high school, come on over, buddy. You know, or if you need a specific skill set, come on over. You know,
Well, let me
but
just to close this out here, right? I'm going to put something to you. I'm going to share with you. This is somebody that I work with here that is having trouble finding a position right now, and I want to
Mhm.
tell you the experience. Okay,
Okay,
so
is it all IT?
no,
Oh,
no. Uh, Professional summary, and I'm not going to go into all the cute parts, but it's like professional creative copywriter, 15 years of experience. You may know
may
what some of these
identify.
things
Yeah.
mean, but X BBDO, DDB, Leo Burnett, TBWA, and VCCP worked with Fortune 500 brands to Ellie Awards for campaigns.
For marketing campaigns.
Correct. Selected global brands: McDonald's, Apple, Mars, Colgate, Palmolive, Volkswagen, and there's like 20 more. Um,
Are we place bound?
I think that may be part of it. But
Okay.
so yeah, education, community academy workshop 2011, 2012. I know there's actually two other degrees in here too, right?
Actual degrees?
Yep,
Are they overseas?
correct.
Problem.
This because I'm looking at this. She was asking me. She's like, I said, like, how did you get into Facebook? I was like, I applied. Well, I mean, they reached out to me and I applied. Um, but that was like, well, we see something here in your profile that looks. I was like, and I told her, like, these are the qualifications they're looking for. I was like, because like I have a background in English and writing,
Mhm.
and I've written a little bit. She's like, well, I do too. I said, nobody answers my calls. I'm like, do you want to do this kind of work? Like, okay, I can.
Well, that to me that sounds like someone who's looking for a VP position.
Well, that
You
was
need to scrub that shit off there.
when I said like what I'd be doing. She's like, well, I do that now.
Is that what you want to do?
If you want to do it because you can do it from home, yes.
Yeah, but see, and that's the whole problem, man. I have a couple students who are struggling with this too. They want the at-home job.
Yeah.
They want a high-paying, high-prestige at-home job. The problem with that is you compete with the entire goddamn world when you try and do that. And so, in your case, I can almost tell you, like, if I saw a resume like that and I saw your resume, I'd hire you. Okay, because like I know I could probably hang on to you. All right. If I hire, someone who's got awards, degrees, multilingual, all these marketing and ad campaigns, and then I'm hiring a job that I need someone that can focus on doing the work for several years, okay, and growing with the job, all right, and not like
This
trying to become a manager,
this campaign may fall off. This is something that they know. It was like
Fair enough.
we're going to see how this goes through January. We may not need it
Yeah.
further, right?
So I can tell you, whoever that person is, they're trapped in this compression skill gap. Okay, that happens with people who have substantial experience and then they apply for jobs that are basically beneath their capabilities. Okay, that happens in those cases where people look at you and they'll instantaneously. And I've seen this happen a lot. All right, instantaneously look at you and you're like, oh, you're not going to stick around. So you want to put my name on your resume. So my company name on your resume. Okay. So in that case, I'm sorry, it sucks, but you got to pull some of that shit off there. So
Mm.
or you have to aim higher. So if whoever this individual is were to turn around and bang out Facebook's door for a VP position, they'd probably be a little bit more competitive.
Well,
So
I understand that was part of what I was looking for, and this was something I said. You got to tell me if this has been your experience too, because it's something that I've seen here. Is um, I said how many? I said how many? I know this is going to sound weird, but I said how many applications you put out, right? She's like maybe 20 a month.
oh fuck that
Well, and this will,
you got to ramp that up by a magnitude of order.
and it's not that you have to put out tons more, right? You should,
You should.
but
Yeah.
the other thing here is like, when did those jobs post, right? I'm like, she's like, does that make a difference? I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
I was like,
totally.
okay, let me put this to you, okay? Every jerk off on this planet
Mm.
can hit the apply button If it asks you if you have this many years of college, you can say yes. If it asks you if you have this, you can say
Say
yes.
yes.
So I was like, so they're going to get 10,000
Thousands,
fucking
thousands,
of
thousands.
applications, right? And so when you start filtering out the crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you pay as like, look, it's just privacy recency at that point.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it like the first people that come in, you're going to find those people and find a person and say, you have to do better than this, right? For me to even worry about it. Because you're going to
Yep.
flush tons of them.
Tons of them.
The algorithm is going to flush tons of them. The ones that are
You're
there.
going to shave them off the bottom and the top, dude. I'm telling you that right
Yeah.
now. That's the thing that most people don't realize is that companies are fucking smart. They're not going to hire the most qualified applicant for a job. They're going to hire the person that they think is going to stay. So, and that's what it comes down to, you know? Because I'm telling you, man, like when I talk to employers, even guys who have bang up great local jobs, okay? Like I was talking to a guy just 2 weeks ago, all right? And this guy's got a manufacturing facility. He's looking for a chief engineer and he's looking for a plant manager.
Oh, shit.
These are six-figure jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. And like he says, I can't find shit for applicants with this. Okay. Because I'm getting all these guys that I know they're not going to move here. And so I'm not going to waste my time with them. I have all these other people. If they do move here, I'm going to lose them in a year. He's like, I need someone who's qualified, local, and willing to work. So, and I will give them a job and I will train them exactly what I need them to do. I just need to make sure they have the skills on paper so that I can take it to my board and justify these hires.
Did he say that he got a bunch of, did he get bullshit applications?
Reams of bullshit applications. And that's because he posted on places like ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and stuff like that. And he just got flooded and he was like, I can't do this. He's like, I cannot actually sit here and go through all these things like this. He's like, that's why he's reaching out to local schools and other local companies. You know, he's reaching out to some of his suppliers to see if they have a guy that they can pull up into his company, you know, and he's just like, it is absolute horseshit trying to go through this, you know, the systems here because,
God damn, man.
yeah, brutal, man. He's got two great jobs sitting in his back pocket. So absolutely phenomenal. Full benefits. It's part of a system that's got an amazing retirement plan, you know, but he's like, no, I need to make sure that I have two people that if I pay to relocate them out there, they're going to fucking stay. So, and he says that means that scrapes off 50% of the people off the top, okay, because they're either perfectly qualified, overqualified for the job, or I just, you know, I'm just looking at them. I know well, a lot of them are trying to get a green card too, because that's the problem. All right, so you have a lot of people. I mean, ZipRecruiter doesn't say U.S. applicants only.
So let me ask you. Okay, so all right.
So if I see a whole bunch of like schools from India on there, I'm like, you know?
Okay, let me on this one here too, because this was the other thing I wasn't quite sure on, and the data seemed inconclusive. Okay, this here is on an H-1B.
Ooh, brutal.
Oh no, that's the. Oh no, not H1, a.
I don't know all the difference. I just know that H-1B right now is fucking toxic.
No,
So,
it's not the H1. It's the God damn it, what is it called? I was curious. I was going to ask you if you'd heard about this or news. It's the O. Okay, it's the O1B, which is basically okay. Evidently, there are two. It's O1A and O1B.
So this individual is not a U.S. citizen. It is not authorized to work in the country.
No, it is. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, wait a second.
You're wandering into something I don't know anything about.
Okay, I wanted to know if you'd ever come across that, or like if the university had come across it with.
Dude, we have tons of. I mean, I have at least two colleagues right now who are on H-1Bs, and they have to zip line to fucking citizenship. Okay, because it is an absolute pain in the ass, and it requires like lawyers to get involved with it, and then, you know, I mean, like we were very careful before we hire anybody on anything like that, because they either have to be like such a stellar candidate, but then they also have to be a stellar candidate who convinces us that they're going to stick around for 5 years, because that process of sponsorship takes ages to do. And the whole problem, like, so the whole, you know, uproar about the H-1B last week, I mean, I understand why he's doing it, because that's the one part of the system that's pay to play. And so we've been doing a lot of playing and not a lot of paying.
You want to get these
So
guys,
you want to
and
get
that's
these
okay,
guys, yeah.
but you have to pay
You know,
for
and if you took a look at the bell curve, I mean, it's a ski slope of the companies that actually, you know, and Facebook's one of them, but then, you know, fucking Amazon's another one that they had everybody lapped on that shit. Fucking
it.
Tesla's on
Tesla's
there
up there
too.
too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And so this is the whole thing about that system is so that's actually going to force everybody to rush for sponsorship. Okay. And so if you're actually trying to get a company to sponsor you, good fucking luck. Okay. Until this gets sorted out in some respects. Because I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, the last person that we hired on the H-1B, we had to like basically everybody had to rally around her and get, you know, say, this is absolutely the person that we want to have.
Right.
Because every time we'd ask, they'd be like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Right.
Because we're not
Press
doing
the
this.
four.
Press four times. So, are you sure this is the best applicant, the best fit for your department? And we like, yes, 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 yes. So they were like, okay. But now that I can see what's going on in the back end of it, I don't see it, but I talked to her about it,
Yeah.
and it is just like it. I mean, you're basically living on like probation, you know,
That's
during that
yeah.
time, and it can take a political thing like a war, or you know, I mean, just a women changing policy, and all of a sudden, you know, you're exposed to something that if I had hired someone who didn't have one of those, this would not be a problem. So yeah,
Right.
so it's really really
Right.
difficult. But yeah, no, in that case, I would definitely say it's skill compression towards the top end. And so if a student came to me with a resume like that and said I can't get a job, I would say aim higher. Okay. So or stop dropping qualifications on your resume. Okay. But if they're already out there in the ether somewhere, they're going to find it and they're going to be pissed off at you if you turn out that you have a PhD and don't. Yeah. So yeah. So be cool about that, but just aim higher. So you know,
Yeah. I mean,
your
there's a
jobs, but I mean, that's the problem with aiming higher is you got to move,
well, because this is the
got to
thing.
move.
That's why I was like, all right. So, because the first question I said, if you're going to work, does somebody have to sponsor you for you to work here? She's like, no.
That's good.
And that was the thing. I was like, are you sure? Because I mean, I'm getting. She's like on the O1A, yes,
She might be
but
fine then.
well,
Yeah.
because she's in business for herself.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. See,
Because
that's interesting too. I mean, I've seen. See that? Yeah, that complicates things a little bit.
yeah, I was
Because I've
hoping
seen
you'd know something, but it's like
the problem with like I see I'm not saying she's doing this, but I've seen students do this in the past, and especially after they've been out for a couple of years and say, "Oh, president, blah blah blah," and be like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's my consulting company." It's like, really? It was like, let me see your books,
right,
okay? I want to know
right,
how much you're putting in as a consultant. Like,
right,
are you blowing smoke up in my ass? Have you been, you know, sitting around twiddling your thumbs for 3 years, calling yourself, you know, a consultant or something like that? That's hard, and especially if you're self-sponsored at that point in time. So, but again, I mean, if you work with like Fortune 500 companies, recognizable brands, if you can put up statistics about like, you know, created a $10 million marketing campaign that resulted in $3 billion worth of sales, you need to do stuff like that.
yes,
You need to be
yes,
able to actually provide references to back you up on things like that. But at that point in time, you should be aiming at you know VP level jobs in larger companies that don't care about the sponsorship, like Facebook. They don't give a fuck. They get an army of lawyers that'll go do it.
right,
You
right,
know, but at the same point in time, you also have to be really careful because then if you turn around and say, "Oh yeah, you know, I'll learn how to program train AI for Facebook," and they're like, "Wait a minute, you were running your own company recently. Get the fuck out. We don't trust you." Does that make sense?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think that's sort of a tough thing because theoretically, with that, that was the thing. Because I mean, I was using her as like a job reference,
Yeah, sure.
and she's like, "Well, how'd you get in there?" Right? I was like, "I don't think I'm doing what you want to be like."
Right. Yeah. You're right on the totem pole, you know?
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's like I would do that because and that's the weird thing here is if you look at her list of things, like actually based off of what you have,
yeah.
you should be where you are.
Yeah,
If you're
totally.
running your own company and
Yeah.
have been since
You
2017,
just do that.
I was like, why do you want to?
Why do you want a job? Yeah. Yeah, actually, if I was hiring someone, I'd probably ask them the same question. Be like, you ran your own successful consultancy for 6 years. What the fuck happened? You know?
I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Here's the other thing that I notice, and this is definitely with people who come from overseas. They don't understand the American market very well. So, and they like in other countries, like there's a lot of power distance. And so if you work your way into a VP or a president or run your own company, you don't speak with the fucking minions. And here in America, it's like everybody's pants go on one leg at a time, even you, Mr. Bezos, and your Mexican girlfriend, or wife now, I guess. Okay.
Right,
And
right.
so, like job title and rank just doesn't matter that much. What really matters is can you do what you're asked to do? And like that's one of those things that I see, and I haven't seen that on too many like European applications, but I've definitely seen it on Chinese ones and Korean ones and South American ones where it's like VP of blah blah blah, and it's like why are you applying for this job? You should be applying for a VP job.
And there's like an honest part of that where you can say like, there is an honest piece where you're like, I just want to be at home, right?
Well, then you need to put that in there somewhere,
Right, right.
and that's where the resume thing doesn't really work, And I mean, especially as someone who's been running their own company, you should have more than enough contacts to go bang on somebody's fucking door and say,
Well,
"Hey, I want to do this. Can I get a meeting with this guy?"
I mean, this is
Do it.
like right here. I'm looking at the portfolio. It's like uh, objective McDonald's announced that McDonald's now offers sandwiches and wraps not only with beef but also with chicken. Right.
That
Result.
sounds weird.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's a solution. We focus on the inside. You never really get someone's taste. Um, Result: chicken wraps and sandwiches sold out in most of Moscow and St. Petersburg locations during the first month of the campaign. Like this is the kind of stuff I'm like, I haven't done one of those things.
Yeah.
Right? You have again, it's eBay. It's fuck Barney. I don't know who Barney is. I sure as hell don't know who
Is this
Barrett's.
stuff all in Russia though?
It looks like most of it is.
That might be a little bit of a problem too. You never know.
Well, there is a component of anti-Russian sentiment right now.
Well, I wouldn't say that's the problem. I would say the problem is you playing small ball, in some of those cases. And so
Oh,
you see
versus
what I'm saying?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you basically hit 65 home runs in AAA.
E- Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I mean by
yeah,
that. And that's
yeah.
not to be denigrating or anything. It's just if that's the ballpark you play, then make sure that you're telling people that's the ballpark. You know, it's like I play
It's
AAA ball. I want to make it to, I want to try out in the majors, and then that's a different resume. Does
right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I've done a lot of this. I have all these language skills. I've organized this, this, and this. I want to learn how to do it here. That would be one of those things where people are like, all right, fucking come on over. So you got the chops, and so let's learn a new market.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was the thing that was that I couldn't place because I was like, even if you didn't like, all right. I said, do you speak any other languages fluently? She's like, oh, Russian,
Yeah, that's
right?
fine.
And then she's like, well,
Which is
Russian.
more than 95% of fucking Americans.
Well, that was it. She's like Russian, and I'm pretty good at Spanish and a little
Okay.
bit of Czech. I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
fine.
but that was the other thing. Was like, well, if you speak another language, like even in just doing the crap I'm doing,
Yeah,
like I can find you a job now because they don't have Russian speakers.
exactly.
If you speak any other language, when it comes to they're trying to make AI translate things between there and not come out weird where you say,
Yeah.
hey, Russian fucking grok, okay? What is this? And it comes back and says like,
Dusk rock.
yeah, and it comes up and it says like, well, like every horseman says, four potatoes is like how you make a strong man every day. Like, the fuck does that mean? So there's
Exactly. Yeah.
seriously, like when I'm working on like Japanese, like
Yeah.
none of the shit that you write down is like this does not look like it translates to this,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing with it.
But I
So
mean,
yeah,
so the whole problem with like resumes and stuff like that is framing. And so that's the other thing. If you're sitting there and if you're applying to 20 jobs the same week with the same fucking resume, you're doing it wrong. So,
well, and also throwing
yeah,
at the last minute too. I mean,
you can,
because some of those posts have been out there for like 20 days. Like, what?
oh, they're fucking gone.
Yeah,
They're fucking
yeah,
gone. They're way past that. They've already hit their cutoff quota by that point in time. I mean, so like depending on the state, like here in Colorado, you actually do have to take in all the resumes that are, submitted within time, and that's why you'll find a submit by blah blah blah, day.
yeah.
So, but honestly, her, and I mean, especially where she's located, I mean, this is one where you pound pavement. You don't fuck with online shit. So,
Well, I mean, aren't there a lot of places too where they're like, well, we want to hire internal, but because the rules are this, we're going to post this job for 6 hours
all the
on
time,
Friday.
all the fucking time,
Yeah.
all the fucking time. They do that that's a CYA kind of thing. I mean, and then like sometimes they'll have internal job postings that are specific to the company, um, which is based upon their policy where it's okay to post those internally, and so you'll never even see those jobs. But see, those are the kind of jobs that she'd probably be fantastic at, and so that's one of those things where I'm dead serious. If I had that much experience and if I had that much behind me, I wouldn't be fucking around posting things online, man. I would go pound on doors. I would go literally find, it's like this company sounds great. Can I get a meeting with someone there? Do I know someone who knows someone there where I can sit down and ask him, what is your company looking for? What kind of employee? I'm interested in working in your company. I'm interested in hearing about what kind of opportunities that you might have. And more importantly, I'm interested in hearing about how you got there, and see if you can actually help me with that in some respects. And I mean, like I have students who do that and they get employed off radar. So, and getting employed off like the whole pipeline thing is absolutely the fucking way to do it. Jeff, I haven't applied for a job since 2008. So all the jobs that I've gotten are based upon like, hey, we have this guy who does this, and he's great at it. So I hear you're looking for someone who does that, and like Pat, go put in for that job. Okay, that's how it
Well,
works.
okay, so you put in for it. So you did, at somewhere you had to fill out the online form and attach a couple of documents,
No, I
correct?
gave them my CV,
Okay.
and then they would turn around and say like, yeah, we're gonna make a job for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. All right, all right, all right.
That's how you do it. The only time that I had to go through the front door was this last round because that's required by state law because it's a tenure track position.
Okay.
But
I don't approve of the yeah, but still, but sometimes it really applies.
hey man, we got some good applicants that went up against me, and I did legit beat them. But at the same point in time, I was very easy to say yes to.
Well,
Okay, because like it was one of those things where I was a safe hire. They knew I wasn't going nowhere.
right.
They knew that I was going to do what they needed me to do.
Yes.
And so that's the position that you want to be in. Okay? If the person who's doing the hiring has to fill in a lot of blanks,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get that job. Okay?
Well, you could
So
have fucked it up too. But I mean, that's the thing is,
well, that's why they made me go through the process. If I said something stupid, during that entire thing, it's like, oh, I'm only gonna do this job for the benefits. You
hey,
weren't
listen,
looking to hire me.
listen, man.
I'd be like, oh, we found you out, kid.
Home field advantage only counts for a field goal. So I
That's
mean, if
correct.
you still have to win the game.
Yeah, you still have to make the coin toss.
All right.
All right, we're way
I'm sorry. I
above it,
didn't mean
man.
to take that. Just
That's okay.
had to
We
bring
can
that up,
talk
so.
about their pending wars next time. So, all right.
All right.
I'm Pat.
Hey, Pat. I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.
Yeah.